64. Did I get the cold open?
Amir's going. Dimitri's still doing the cold open. He's rolling his birthday. Apparently. And you know who knows whose birthday it is? Me, the GM. Hi everyone. Welcome back to Session 60 of Echoes of the Forgotten Homebrew D&D campaign. We're missing some people. They'll be coming soonish as fast as they can. And just one more thing. It was not noted at the end of last session because we didn't decide to. But these people have, after completing 2 personal quests, have gained enough of an experience for an ASI increase for their 3rd total of the campaign. Yay. So they've all adjusted. The sheets are now what they should be. Christine's was way out of whack for like so long. She had like 12 con at one point for some reason. Like, excuse me?
Wait, what?
Yeah, your mini sidebar was whack for a bit. I'm like, interesting.
What?
It's fixed.
How?
I don't know. They're all fixed now. I fixed it myself.
I'm having a look.
Go for it. But now they're all fixed. I think we'll get started with Darian telling us what's happening.
Last time on Echoes, the gatekeepers split up. Some rested and others went with Sylvie to meet her handler and discuss the job that they were offering. As a few members were present, an overall decision couldn't be made, but Sylvie collected information just in case. When they all reconvened, they discussed their options, decided to take the job, though Xavier tried to talk them out of it and eventually gave in. Later that night, he attempted to cast his oath aside, but was firmly told by a celestial Atabris, temporarily taking the form of Sclera, that his concerns had been noted, but since no acts that go against his oath or Tabris's will have been detected, it remains intact. The next day, people gathered items in town, went and spoke with the strange lizard men, and considered the offer he made. Eventually, Terra made a deal with him for information to protect Christine, and with the route chosen, their wagon, once lost, now returned to them, and goodbye is issued to family. The party packs themselves on board and begins their journey to Samaria.
Alright, so this is, you are just leaving the capital, not the capital, you're leaving Stormcaller's Bay at around midday of the 28th of Easter. As you are going on, does anyone have any things to wrap up the day, scenes, conversations otherwise, or shall we skip to the evening?
I think I have like something minor for like Christine, but nothing really like interacting particularly. More so just like, I imagine like near the sort of end of the day, it's just kind of throughout the day, she's like, since travel, it's probably just been reflecting on like everything that's happening and like all that's occurred over the last like few days.
Let me just get... No, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself. No, I'm talking to myself. Continue.
You have a great time.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. I imagine it's kind of a thing where she's like more so on her own than normal with what day it is today, and it's just kind of with her necklace now like sort of humming softly, I guess, like compared to before. Just holding it, looking at it, and just kind of silent, like almost like silent looking. Like the thoughts are there, but not as prominent, and it's just more so just taking it in. But I imagine besides that, there really isn't much for Christine that day, or that afternoon.
In what regard is your question, Akfa? How much like a set would cost, or what items are in it, or?
Yeah, I just genuinely am trying to think what would be most appropriate. I'm looking at like the artisan tools now, so it's just little tools for tinkering of a design is all.
Oh, well, there are Tinker's tools.
Yeah,
they're
trying to find them.
They're 50 GP.
I feel like if you're thinking of tools to customize and like make the gauntlets, I think artisan tools probably fits better, where you'd probably get carving tools instead.
General artisan tools, okay.
Yeah. You get like carver's tools or smith's tools, something like that.
Smith's. It's probably like a combination of Smith's tools, metalworking tools, and a whole bunch of like little things, which probably is what a Tinker's tool set is. It's a variety of different tools necessary.
The Tinker's tools are like very small hammers and things to deal with like your fine-tuned work, like things to work on a watch or something like that. While Smith's tools are like, I'ma work with metal, motherfucker. I'm in.
Fair enough.
And I suggested carving tools because I also feel like arc first. If you're making a weapon, chances are it's not going to be out of metal.
Okay.
But that's, I think, just personal. That's my own personal opinion in that regard.
Yep, I'll
No,
just chuck a
works.
DM once I decide.
Easy.
As you all... Oh, sorry, just for anything. Alright, yeah, as you all continue for the day, you make some headway with Xavier as your driver, given his proficiency with landworks. You all find a side off-road, and you park your wagon as such. I have crafted a map for camp, just in general, so we know how things are going to work with watch order, positions you guys are going to be in, etc. This is like a template. Necessarily, the background won't be the same. If it's like a huge terrain shift, I'll make a different background. But if like there's a point where there's no path, then just imagine that there's no path. So I'm not making like 50,000 of the same map.
Just copy and paste.
I would like to note that when driving, I am wearing a helmet. So
That makes sense.
I am not a hobgoblin.
It's not an idea.
As you all rest for the night, you find this little path, probably maybe a couple 100 feet away from the main road in Ghislaine that connects Stormcaller's Bay to
Tide's favor.
Brain, so many words. As you all settle down for the evening.
Is there anything you guys want to establish for this travel? Like, do you guys have a watch order you want to deal with, or is that something you're dealing with later on?
I'd probably suggest establish a watch order, considering that we're
Yeah.
still fugitives in this land, no matter what. It's better to try to keep eyes out on if anyone's coming, so everyone's notified at once. No one's called out. And since we don't have a hut or a tower, we're kind of a bit more out in the open.
Sylvie's
Feels
sort of
good to be in the
a-
open again.
Sylvie's sort of a nighthawk, so she'd kind of she'd be more interested in taking like the first or second watch, in the sense that just sitting up under the campfire.
Imagine firstly Christy would go around and just mentally confirm who actually has the ability to see better in the darkness. I can never remember if hobgoblins do or don't.
Yeah, I do.
They do? Okay.
I also got blind, so don't worry.
So I think it was just... Oh, I don't remember now if Leonin actually do.
Cats do.
They do?
That makes
Tabaxis
sense.
don't, Leonins do. Okay.
I
Interesting.
don't
Yep.
think changelings do.
Why?
No, they don't.
Changelings do not.
Yeah, no.
Changelings do
they
not.
It's very unfortunate. But I do. And yeah, I think most of
So I think
us do.
everyone, actually, then.
Terror.
Yeah, except I'm not sure about Zaz, nor do I actually think I would initially include him in that sort of thing anyway.
Mm.
Just not really sure how to kind of even approach that.
Because us will be
So we'll go through it easy way.
Yeah, I just want to say, what do people want to do?
Yeah, a 1, 2, 3, or 4. What are people going at?
Well, first of all, before any of that happens, I'm casting alarm, and I'm making a perimeter.
I'm waiting for Xavier to pick a number first before saying a number.
3. I'll go 3.
I'll
It's near
go
the dead of
4.
night.
I'll take morning. I'll take early.
I'll take 2.
Okay, I'll take 1. Well, I guess there's multiple.
can also
of us,
double
so
up.
Maybe Terra should have 1 before it hits dark night, and I'll just double up with you instead.
Do not know. Technically, we don't even know Arthur's
Oh, you do have
Hesper's-
dark. Never mind.
Hesper's thing. I think they. I know Terra does, but I don't
She
think
says she did. She
Yeah.
just said she did.
Oh, she did? Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Sorry, I
you?
didn't see that.
It doesn't say it on your
No, it's
senses.
in there.
I don't think changelings have innate dark vision.
I know that Theo doesn't. That's the only thing I'm going from. So unless it's got something to do with a class-related thing.
Or a special related thing.
Yeah, that too. Fair enough.
Alright.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with 2 then, and double up because my perception's a lot better than yours anyway.
Absolutely, it is.
I don't.
Which makes more sense.
Question.
Hmm.
Do I need to take the same watch as Slayer?
Not necessarily. Slayer isn't a creature that needs sleep.
Because Slayer is always watching.
Slayer is a celestial construct. So, you don't have to.
Okay. I'll have Slayer do. First of all, I'll assume the form of Slayer as a horse.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'm allowed to do that.
If you've
Yeah.
got the spell slots to desummon, resummon, yeah.
I'll summon them as a horse.
Yeah, it's just a normal-ish looking horse, unless you pay too close attention and realize that it only has one eye.
And it's purple.
Just don't look at it.
Yeah, Mim pointed out the special thing for the dark vision and fire resistance.
You know, so it's all good.
Sorry.
I've made a note on this sheet now.
And I'll have them take. I'll say.
I'm going to have a look at one spell real quick. Because a horse does not have dark vision.
Hmm.
Okay. The only reason why I'm saying a horse is because an Aquileo and a warg kind of stick out.
No, that's fine. I'm just seeing if the Fine State gives them any advantages or if they just have the statistics of a creature,
They
which
are
at that point they will not have dark vision.
Make it big dog.
Big scary dog.
Mountain goat.
I could. Mountain goat.
Big goat.
Hmm.
A joke, but big goat is one of the options for a mount.
No, a warhorse if
Big
only
goat.
you have one out for a mastiff or an Aquileo or a warg.
Big goat.
Big goat.
I like it.
I could go a mastiff. You know what? Pubber instead.
Okay.
Let me have a quick
Pretty
look
sure
at dog.
Pubber has dark vision.
Let me have a look at the dog. It might not have dark vision, but it might have keen senses, which will probably make up for that. It does not have dark vision, but it probably has keen senses, which will make up for it.
You need a keen sense.
And hearing, so I mean advantage for a +3 skill. So that's a flat +8 mathematically, theoretically. -5 because I can't say the dark, so it's a +3.
That's a good number.
Doesn't matter. Either way, it's,
You have a
it kinda
dog.
evens out.
You have a dog.
You have a doggy.
Put the dog on your sheet just in case you need the stats for a dog.
Yep.
Dog.
I will need to swap out one of my spells overnight.
Big old good boy.
So just a question: did you say 3, Okfa? I'm just making sure.
3, yes.
Cool. And
And it's Hesper good with number 1.
Yeah, it's just Hesper.
cool. And you know what? When Jeremy picks, he can retort, but the dice saith 1.
He can go wherever.
I do not have access to Pubber.
There you go.
Alright, but yeah. So
Okay.
the first night comes, you find this little camp on the side of the road. You set your things up, rest for the night, taking your various watches. As night comes and goes, nothing eventful occurs. This is close to a large city on what is technically one of the more peaceful nations right now. Luckily, it's not very dangerous, at least for now. So the morning comes, and I'm assuming you all continue your journey.
Yeah.
All right. As you continue on, are there any scenes that people want to have within the next 4 days? I'll say the next 3 days. We'll round up our trip to a bit of fast travel as you did music pause. Interesting. Sorry. As 3 days from this position will take you to Tide's Favor, or just outside of it, in terms of if you guys want to do stuff while or before you get there.
I'm always open for scenes, but I'm not Like, there's nothing that I really have in mind specifically. Enough is a ration of ration.
If you do have rations, do knock 4 off.
I don't think currently, like, I have much to really go to people for at the moment. I think it's more so just that sort of laying low as much as possible, just not wanting to stick my head out as much. Like, the less appearance I have in Gizland, the better for my own safety. And like, if there is, like, at any points, like, there's not really like scenes, but like, if any points like there are like people coming by, I would probably just don on a different alter self disguise, like flipping between. One of them would probably just be like a full tiefling look, probably just red skin. One of them would be an air genasi. Another one probably just human, I'd say. But like, just random different disguises if there are people that come around, just to kind of be as clear as possible that it's a different person, different hair color, different eye, sort of shape, all 9 yards. Depending on how many people come by and all that sort of stuff.
Good. Yeah, for the most part, the road heading north, heading like north-south like this time of year, getting close to winter, the traffic is slowing down quite a bit. You would know as a resident of Gizlane that as it gets closer to summer, the traffic heading towards Tide's Favor gets busier and busier and busier.
Yep.
And then as it gets to more like this time, probably about a month or so ago, the traffic was busy heading away from Tide's Favor because you would know that around this time of year, the land bridge is as low as possible, to the point where there's probably only an hour or two a day that it's actually crossable.
And it's just not as worthwhile.
Yeah, like you wouldn't be able to get a big like lumber wagon across now at all. Like it would be impossible. So majority of the trade from the north is completely dried up right now. So yeah, the road is very quiet. You don't pass very many people. The few you do pass up, like the lone, like a couple lumberers who are heading south because their seasonal work is over.
Yep.
It's not very many people.
I hear those lumberjacks are friendly.
Okay.
I would actually, I think, like, maybe halfway through the 2-day strips, like, have, like, one small thing I want to approach Akvar about. Like, it'd just be, like, maybe it's, like, one of those, as we're setting up the camp along the side sort of situation. Just approach you, just casually. Just a quick question I wanted to make sure of. Do you have any particular ways to disguise yourself as we did last, or are you mostly out of what you need?
Well, I did replenish my disguise kit.
That is useful.
Although, depending who we come across, it might get seen through again.
Potentially, but I've got to
Although I think I was slightly short the last time.
I want to believe at least the further away from Gizlane itself we get, the less likely people are going to see through particular disguises with, like, magical abilities. Hopefully. Though, I mainly ask because it's me, you, and Big Red over there that are like the 3 main ones that still have the issue. There's not much we can really do about him, but if he's covered in armor, it's the best we can do.
A hood should cover his head for the most part.
He has been.
I think as long as we don't draw too much attention to our actual carriage, it'll be fine.
Exactly. Which is why I wanted to ask you, at least, because even if he has a bit of suspicion, I thankfully can alter my form with magic, albeit for a very limited time, an hour at most, but I can keep recasting it with what I have, but that would use up most of my reserve. and I'd probably have to keep up one form. If we don't manage to catch the bridge in time, we're gonna have to stay overnight. That is a guarantee.
Which,
Yes.
ideally, we could go off to the side of the road, which would minimize the chance.
Potentially, but it might also bring suspicion if we're just camping outside of a small town.
Hmm.
It might be better to try to find something where we can stay in a place, just be as casual as possible.
If
And-
I'm recalling correctly, there was, when we originally came over the land bridge, there was that small-ish
Yes.
town there, yes?
No, so the land bridge basically directly feeds into the city of Tide's Favor, which is it's a decent sized city. It's probably the third biggest city.
City or
in
town?
It's a city.
I always had the image of
Um,
large towns, so never mind.
Just wanted to double
a
check.
Majority of his warehouses. When you guys last passed over, it was in the summer when the tide was lowest. So
Yep.
there was a good 50, 60 meters of gap between the city and the actual proper land bridge. But
Okay.
this time of year, the tide would be a lot higher, so that gap might be smaller.
Okay. I just didn't realize it was a proper big city.
It's alright.
Never mind.
If we are to stop, and a few of us can get around rather nimbly, that shouldn't be a problem.
Mm.
Finding a place to stay shouldn't be an issue, and
The slight downside with those who are nimbly, it doesn't really involve us three particularly, unless you believe yourself to be agile.
I'm more agile than you.
Probably.
But I do get your worry.
They probably at least know or have seen us before, especially when we first came through here. That is why me and you particularly will have more of an issue.
I'll do what I can with the disguise kit on the way there. Might
Okay.
need your help with some of the dyeing, but
I'm happy
as long as I
to do
don't
what I
bathe,
can.
it shouldn't come out.
I'm happy to do what I can to help.
And while that's up, it's gonna have to last until we get out, or we're gonna have to try and replenish that before we leave again.
Fingers crossed a day, worst case scenario, you give the kit to me and I can replenish it in a different form.
I mean, there's also mud. I could coat myself in mud.
It is an alternative. We'll work on it as we get closer, but if you have an idea in mind, well, now would probably be the time to start thinking of one and fleshing it out.
No, unfortunately, I don't in this case.
We'll just mess with dyes and see what happens.
Yeah, let's just get through this safely, one step at a time.
Safely, well, we'll see. I'll try to think of ways we can get out if necessary. Yeah, so at that point, like, whatever.
If worst comes to worst, run.
The one thing I hope not to happen. At this point, I imagine, like, it's most of camps, like, get that anyway at this point, and she just takes a seat down, like, nearby. Probably stills in the alcohol and just takes the rest before normal wind down.
Easy. Settle down.
Nice, yeah.
You rest.
As the days continue, your road that heads north to south east starts bumping back up to northeast as you hit a point where you're entering the area towards Tide's Favor proper, and eventually on the 1st of Senate you arrive at the town just as sundown is about to happen. Or you arrive
Where's the
outside
town?
of town,
Yeah,
wherever you
hit
want
the
to
edge
be.
of town. The edge of town at this point. You would notice the last time you guys came, it was very busy. It is almost completely dead. The many warehouses and sawmills and whatnot active are all dead quiet. There is almost no one in the streets this far out of this main part of the city.
is there any sort of like, yeah, it looks really dead, but are there like suspicious-looking guard watchers and like kind of, you know how last time when they passed through there was like at the bridge there was basically like a checkpoint. Is there anything that sort of resembles that sort of thing?
So that would be on the other side of the city where the land bridge is. There'd be a checkpoint like that.
I mean more in the city, like they're trying to like pick out any like suspicious people.
I mean, there are guards. There's always a guard at the at a major entrance to the city, but they're not like.
They look any more on edge than a normal guard would.
No, it seems to be just a normal day in the week.
And given this city doesn't have any walls, it's just an open like city. It's not like you're being forced into going down a specific pathway into the city.
It's just that the major road, you would assume, probably traveling a decent while, would have guards at either end, regardless of it. On the other side, it would just basically be where the guards are positioned when the land bridge is visible versus the time of year. So,
I think before we like get to a proper approach, Sylvie would like look to the others and sort of be like, do we have any interesting stories we can tell them? Because they're probably going to ask more where we're headed.
Well,
Why
the
we're headed
easiest
out
one is
this way.
traders.
That makes sense. We do have the caravan.
You got
Though we
plenty
don't
of
have the
goods.
goods. Well,
We
not
trade
really.
exactly.
That's the point.
I pull out the 1 square yard of cotton cloth.
Ah! What? Okay.
Don't ask where that was.
No, I remember where it was. I fully remember what that was. Those were the last people we robbed.
But yes, you're just making your way towards up the main road towards the city.
I just wanted to ask real quick because my brain has not been working and I could look for the information, but it took me 5 minutes. What were the common races of Gearsland again?
Human and Genasi are the most common.
Okay, yep, okay, cool.
Hey, Jeremy.
I'm gonna
Hold
go, as we like get very close to the sort of gates, I wanna hold a form of an Earth Genasi. Like, much shorter hair, kind of like almost rocky sort of jagged hair, but a little bit of like a gemstone look. I'd say a bit of a green with like a bit of a brownish, rocky skin. And yeah, just the same clothes I'm wearing, like travel-wise. This is all
Yeah.
travel clothing.
And Xavier, you're driving the wagon, but you're covered up as possible.
Yep, I'm in my armor. I've got a helmet on.
And if I recall, you're not wearing the tabard of Tabris.
No.
Good dog.
No.
Would kind of give it away. All right. Just for a blanket check, can you make me either a stealth or a deception check, Xavier, but not with disadvantage if you normally would have it? So, like, if you're making a stealth check, just remove the disadvantage from it.
I also say with whatever
I'll go with deception. Is that
Easy.
okay?
with whatever Uncle should do, I want to say I wanted to help him as well, like the lead up to it.
Mm-hmm. That was mostly just using
Yeah.
up the disguise kit to take on some other persona again. Maybe I'll fully embrace the philosophy cat on this one.
So you're not using disguise, killing yourself up for?
Mm-hmm.
If I can
Yep.
help him with advantage to him.
Yeah, you can give advantage to either of them, Christine, Xavier, or Octha.
Choose Spider-Man.
Want to help Arkvor.
Okay.
I think I can be fine on my own.
And I believe it's a dex check. I don't remember what we always do for disguise kit. Whatever with disguise kit check.
Yeah, what do you do for Sasuke? It's painting, right? That's art related. That's charisma.
My brain thinks thinking
Talent.
performance for some reason.
To apply it, let me have a look.
I'm also helping Arkvor in that aspect. If he
No.
seems like he has a better stat, then
It's more or less just a flat stat roll, I believe, because I'm not proficient.
yeah, so it'll just be flat for both.
Your
Okay.
disguise takes you 1 minute to don such disguise. You carry time without drawing undue attention. Yeah.
Performance, right?
Yeah. It could just be a D20 check with a DC
Alright.
DC
You
15.
want to roll or you want me to roll?
You know what? I'll put my fate in your hands.
That's a horrible idea, buddy. I've been rolling terribly in Baldur's Gate.
20s.
Well, it is with advantage because you are being helped.
That's an 18
Pretty good.
and an 18.
An 18,
Wow.
okay. So Xavier,
Thanks, Sam.
you're sitting on the front. You get your helmet on. You've pulled whatever cloak you can up around yourself to cover your arms as best you can. Your breastplate covers your chest and everything. So you've covered almost every inch of your skin you possibly can as you lead the wagon. And Christine, you've just transformed into an Earth Genasi. No issues
Yeah.
there.
Emerald green hair.
And then you paint Arkfur with assistance, because Arkfur, you've done this before, where you paint as much of your visible fur as you can from this alabaster white to a different shade in order to conceal yourself. Because you know, an incredibly white lion stands out. Any shade but white stands out less.
Hmm.
And you do a pretty good job. If you all didn't know
What
it
color do you
Arkfur-
want?
Yeah, what color are you?
I mean, we've been through the scar paint job, so let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
You know what? Let's go Simba.
Go Simba. Just a normal line.
You go this dirty blonde fur color with hints of red on your mane.
That's good.
Yeah.
As
Mm.
as you approach the town.
There, you see two guards as you expected, just by the main road, just leaning up against some warehouse that looks like it hasn't been occupied in probably weeks. It takes them a moment to even realize there are people coming down the road. When they do, you see one elbow the other, who kind of looks at the other one. Some small conversation has happened between them before one walks out into the road a little bit, kind of waves his spear to be like, "Up, slow down."
Yep. So, yeah.
He just walks up next to the wagon. The other one goes to do kind of a lap around, and is the one who walks up to you, Xavier, is just like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Well, not too bad, mate. Just, driving the caravan.
Yeah. So I don't get many people heading north this time here. Where you guys going?
Oh, we're headed down to, I think, what was it, Drakazul? Yeah. It's gonna be a long trip. But,
God damn. Yeah, it is.
just getting in early before, it comes possible, so.
Fair. Alright, well, basic questions. Got anything illegal on board?
I don't believe I do.
Got anyone illegal on board?
Don't believe I do. People lie to me, then.
The guy stops for a moment when he says, you don't know who's on board.
I know who's on board, but if
I
they're
don't
hiding
see
something,
new faces here. I just caught a lift with these guys on the way. Gislaine was getting a little boring,
Yeah, it does that in winter.
Yeah, it's just not the clientele I would have liked.
And the dude, one guard kind of looks at the other guard. The one talking to you is just a human. The other one is Air Genasi. And he does an up nod. The dude sighs, jams his spear into the ground, pulls into a side pack and pulls out a stack of papers. And he just starts looking at everyone's faces and flicking through the pages.
When they have a look towards me, I just give that sort of similar up nod, yeah, what up?
I'm sizing them up. She's looking at them
I'm putting on an attitude of just yeah, hi, how you doing? What do you want?
If it
After a
helps-
minute or so, yeah, you are.
I was gonna say, if it helps, Aqua does have the glasses on.
Yep. So the dude's flicking through the paper, and after a minute or so, he gets to the end. He rolls it back up and shoves it this little pouch he has at his waist, and he goes, "Nah, no one." And the other dude just "All right, you got no one fun. Head on in.
I wouldn't
Don't
say
make a mess."
that.
How late you
probably-
gentlemen working tonight?
We're here till about midnight, and the other guy's taking over.
He's getting a drink
Rough.
when you finish.
Hmm.
He's getting a drink when you finish.
Probably either that or bed.
I want to flick them a gold coin. Treat
Guy-
yourselves.
Guy snatched out the air, and immediately he's like, "All right, head on in."
Oh, hopefully I see you later. We're
Enjoy
gonna
your
get
shift.
handsome, strapping guards like you in his name, that's for sure.
Well, if I see you, give me a tap.
Will do.
And the dude, ego. What were you gonna say, Xavier?
I give him a nod and
Ah, cool.
I move to head on in.
Yeah. As you guys start continue on the way in, the dude at the back, with the dude who was looking around the back, walks up to the other guy who's like the one dude's holding the gold coin, looking at it, puts it in his pocket, and the guy is like, you know, it's just easier if they bribe us. I don't really give a fuck this time of year. Like you guys move out of sight, and yeah, you enter the city.
Were they handsome or strapping? Or
Eh.
was I just being like sweet talking?
You're sweet.
That's
These are like
25?
winter guards.
Were they
I'd
pretty
say
basic?
like 5 or 6 out of 10.
Oh, not a 7?
Nah.
They were
Probably a little dirty. Who knows?
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
a 6 or a 7's kind of meh.
One
Yeah.
likes to knit, the other one likes poetry.
but
That's a 7 then.
as you head on in, you're passing all these warehouses and lumber mills that are completely dead. You don't even see another person on the road for the first few streets. As you pass by these buildings that are completely abandoned, and until you reach about 3 or 4 streets in, you finally see the first person. And even then, it's just like some random person walking, and then they go into some inn nearby. What are you guys doing in town? Are you going to try cut straight through town, or are you going to go somewhere else?
I think like what I'd like to try to do is like head in that direction to like head straight out, and just like at least like do the kind of like thing of stopping before, like getting the Ivia to stop before, and then like sort of calling out to see like how's the land bridge,
Yeah.
like if anyone's there.
After a few more streets, when you start getting into the actual inner part of the city, you notice a lot more people. And once you hit almost the middle of the city, it feels like a normal town with actually people around doing things. But you can tell that even the crowds from last time you were here would be double, if not triple, what it was at this point. You ask a person driving by like how the land bridge is, and the guy looks up at the sky and is like, "Probably about to be shut. You'd be lucky if you make it.
Well, we'll give it a try then. See what happens.
Good luck." And he just like walks into some bar.
Oh, we may as well go check then.
Yeah,
That might
what's the
take care
worst
of
that
fluffy
could happen?
bits.
All right, you guys pass through the town's relative speeds, moving to make sure you don't run anyone over, obviously, as you head towards the other side where the land bridge is. It takes you in total most of an hour to cross the city through the empty streets into the less empty streets, then back into more empty streets again. As you're going, Xavier, since you're driving,
Yep.
could you just roll me a d20 into the tower?
Kill someone kills.
Yeah.
Should not be encouraging this.
You should.
As you guys are crossing the city, you finally start breaching the other end of the town, and you notice that this stretch of land between the end of the city and the start of the bridge is much shorter. It's probably only about 10 meters at max from the last building to where the water is. And you can very quickly see the sign of a cart crossing this really narrow strip where the water is lapping up over the bottom wheels at the edge there, and these 2 guards on this end standing with a lantern, kind of like waving it back and forth.
Okay. I take it it's check to stop.
Yeah, as you approach that area, the one guy with the lantern just keeps still waving it slowly to the side. The other guy walks up to you guys and goes, sorry guys, you're gonna have to come back in the morning. Unfortunately, we're expecting the bridge to only be available for the next 2 or 3 minutes. The tide's coming up, and if you're caught in the middle of that when it hits the bottom of your wagon, you aren't gonna have a wagon anymore.
Darn. Oh well, I guess one night's not too bad.
What are you talking about? One night's great.
Insight.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes, but I'm so bored of Ghislaine.
As you look,
Sure.
I'm gonna put a thingy into that.
right, with 6 as you look into this man. He looks bored. Bored enough to not lie. He doesn't care about his job. He's just letting you know that you
Doesn't
can't
want
cross the
people to
bridge.
Confirm, like, while you're watching, what this guy's saying that you're double checking his face to see any tells. You watch like a slightly big wave come up, crest over, and almost like it hits the wagon that's currently crossing, and you watch it get physically like pushed 2 feet to the side, right near the edge of the bridge. And the dude, whoever's on that wagon, like picks up their pace to try and cross before it gets any bigger.
The other guard that's standing there yells across like, "We told you to come back tomorrow, but no!"
Well, perhaps we go find a place to sleep.
Oh well.
Then the one dude who stopped you from going across, like, yep, just head back into town. There's plenty of empty inns this time of year. If you want to get here first time tomorrow, should be open sometime before dawn. Either that or you'll be waiting until about dusk tomorrow.
Dawn it is.
You only got about an hour at max, so if you're late, you'll wait until evening.
Understood.
Thanks for heads up, mate.
So
No problem.
so
If
not
you
a
all start
fun night.
drowning, it's like if you all start drowning, we've got to swim out to try and save you, and I'd rather not do that. It's fucking cold.
I fucking tell, mate.
Alright, and the guy turns, walks, sits in a chair. It's just off to the side. The guy with the lantern just like clicks it into some like post that's half sitting in like half up next to where the bridge is. And you guys turn the wagon around slowly, and before you've even finished turning the wagon out, the dude blows the lantern out to officially say like, yeah, there's now no safe crossing.
Yeah, okay.
As we move away and we're out of earshot, she's just like, well, it was worth a try.
Everything's always worth at least one try.
Staying in an inn, or are we...
We're gonna have to probably stay in an inn.
We gotta look normal. Although I'm
But
happy to stay with the cart if need be.
I recommend pairing up as well.
Sounds
Right.
good to me.
Well, if we're pairing up, who wants to bunk with me?
I'll
I'll
take
have
it.
to do that.
Why is that?
We're gonna have to do. Well, apart from me and him, we're the ones who stick up like sore thumbs.
May I remind you that I'm on a time limit? An hour at most. I have before I have to cast it again.
We can
prefer to
sort
be
it out
with-
once we buy the rooms.
I prefer to be with someone that can actually look over, just in case. Because if I'm caught asleep, not concentrating, then there's an issue.
I will say I'm not much of a sleeper.
Did you want Slayer in your
No, I don't think it's a smart idea to have Slayer in any rooms.
Alright, I dismiss him.
Hey, on we go then.
Yeah, so you're all going to the same inn, or are you splitting up to different ones?
That's a good question, actually. How far
Well, then
apart
I
are
guess
like
we can
inns from
travel
each other?
together.
True, but like how far apart are inns from each other?
There's a quite a few, because of what this place is. They get a lot of Lancer work, so there's probably maybe 5 or 6 inns within like a couple 100 meters of each other.
Like, there's literally one street where it, like, there's a one inn, and then not even 100 meters down the road is another inn, and then around a corner, like 2 blocks down, is another inn.
I do vote that we stick together, just in case things go south.
Mm-hmm.
Since we have leave
As-
time in the morning.
So we go in, we say how many rooms we need, we get some rest.
Yes.
If anyone wants a meal, just let us know. Well, let me know, I'll pay it up front.
I'm assuming
Oh.
someone's. You know, I'm actually not sure what to do with you. She like looks towards Zaz.
Well, Zaz isn't exactly in the same boat as us.
No, but yeah, just as long as it doesn't cause trouble.
I think he's here to look after himself.
He just
Right,
watches you all. Doesn't say
Yeah.
much.
I imagine he's
Nothing
not
was
much for talking.
Directed at him.
Yeah.
Or talking, and he's also there.
Perhaps
Yeah.
we ask it bluntly. Zaz, would you like a room tonight?
outside, inside. I don't really care.
Then come along with us. Might as well stay as a group.
He shrugs and he'll follow.
You can pick whoever, I guess.
Yeah. So
Same in, I guess.
yes, Mr. Pedro would like to go into one of the inns with the group.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna use a third second level spell slot at this point, I imagine. I've already used 2.
Yeah, you turn back and see it takes about 10-15 to get back into the part of the city that are populated, and you quickly find one inn that's not super fancy, not bad at all, called like the Sleepy Axe, and it's got a stable there so you can pull your wagon in. You pull in and look at the stable boy there who's like half asleep on on a pile of saddles in a corner, and as you pull in, he like startles awake. So, oh, right, yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that. You,
Do we pay inside or do we pay you directly?
the man at the bar, he'll. Sorry, just wait. Guy at the bar will take your money.
Thank you, chap.
No problem. And yeah, he just slowly walks up and starts like pulling the horses into stables and wheeling your cart into a spot in the yard.
Sweet.
Right.
You
Gonna
all head in.
inside. Yep.
Yeah, you get a similar reaction from what looks like the innkeeper as you see a dude sitting at one of the bar is completely empty. There's just like a large man wearing an apron. This is like a tiefling man who is fully asleep just at a table, like feet up on the desk, lean back.
I want to sort of move up, like sort of the idea of like hands like behind the back, just sort of walking forward. And as I get closer, I just want to just sort of just put my elbow on the table, just like hello.
And he falls. The chair falls backwards, and he almost tumbles out of it.
Look
Oh
over, it's like,
my.
oop, sorry about that.
Quiet night.
More like
Sorry.
quiet nights, you'd say.
Well,
Sorry.
would you like some business, sir? We happened to miss the land bridge.
Fair enough. There's 6 here. You want 6 rooms? Autumn?
Some of us are happy to share, but
There's a bit of pairing.
Fair enough. Alright, well, it's a golden night per room. There's only one bed in each room.
do you have any meals prepared by chance? Like just a stew or something?
I
Doesn't
can
matter
check.
if it's cold.
Probably cold, but I can do a quick heat up. It'd be an extra half a gold per meal.
I imagine that it's gonna be 3 rooms because it's 3 pairs.
Yeah.
Zaz stops salivating when he hears it's soup.
Aw.
Hey. Oh, and if you have a bit of raw meat for our friend back there.
Alright. Well, if you want 3 rooms and 6 meals, that's 6
no,
gold.
count me out. I had my road snack.
Tell you
Alright.
what, I'll give you a small tip to... We woke you up, we tripped you over, just for any of your grievances, as I'll place down a plat piece.
Fair enough. Alright.
He pays for me.
Guy walks behind the bar, rummages around, pulls out 3 of these like large keys, like, alright, there you go, you got the first 3 rooms in the left.
Hopefully that should
bring-
also cover the stabling for our carriage.
Yeah, definitely. You guys had a carriage? Fuck. Alright. No problem. I'll get your meals up to you in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Guys, might want to tell the stable boy that we're going to be trying to make the crossing in the morning, so hopefully.
No problem. I'll make sure your stuff's ready. Not like completely taken apart, just like partially.
Well, if you could as well, please knock. I'd like a bit of privacy every now and then.
As long as
Fine,
you don't
sir.
ruin, as long as you guys don't start breaking my rooms, I'm not gonna go up there.
Oh, I'm not
I
that sort.
sadly can't drink too much tonight. I have to leave early, so probably not.
Thank you kindly.
The guy, having been woken up literally about a minute ago,
Yeah.
is like, you can tell you're saying things to him, and
Yeah.
it's just hitting his brain and just kind of sliding off.
Just bouncing off it.
having
Yeah,
fun
and
with it.
he's
is
just
what I'm
looking at
doing.
you, and he goes, "Your rooms are the first three on the left."
Thank you.
And he like hands you the keys, and he looks at his
Yep.
hand for a minute as you guys like start walking away. He's just like shakes himself awake again, and then just walks into the back, where you can hear him start like yelling at someone who is probably also asleep.
Yeah, I guess as we head up, well, I'll take the first room here with Christine.
Hat.
Zaz, who would you... Do you care who you're with?
I think Hesper wanted the lizard.
Okay. Is that fine by you, Hesper? You and Zaz there?
I'm assuming.
I'm going
Alright.
to assume so.
She
I'm
did say
going
she
based
wanted
off
the
the
lizard.
I want the lizard, yeah, but no, it's all right.
It's all good.
All right, Xavier, Sylvie, you two can get along for a night, right?
Of course.
Oh, yep, no worries.
Actually, that sounds like a
Sure.
bad idea.
All right.
Oh, it'll be fine, darling.
He knows to knock to bring the meals up,
Have
but
fun now.
have a good night.
You all retire to your respective rooms. After about 10-15 minutes, there's a knock on each of your doors as the guy brings up. He has like three bowls of stew, I think, because it was like
Yeah, I
Akfa,
did
Christine, and Xavier, and he has just a hunk of like what probably looks like just standard stewing meat. Just he's hands the balls out to the people who want them, gives the meat to Zaz.
Thank
Takes
you
it.
kindly for the trouble.
Mhm.
No problem. Good night. And then the guy, you hear him start trudging back downstairs, and it's probably not even an hour later where you start to hear snores come from the bottom floor again.
Imagine that another half an hour
So
it's
how-
like before the
how-
thing goes away.
Awkward is Xavier right now.
Xavier at the moment is going to be casting alarm in the room.
Does he look like he's... Oh, that's a nat one. No, I don't even give a shit. Sylvie's just like... Well, I'm going
Don't
to
stab
bed.
me.
He's got a helmet on. He's kind of hard to read at the moment.
Other than that one, I think that she's just like, yeah, that's enough rude. She dresses down a fair bit when she sleeps, so I'm just gonna tell you now.
Alright, that's fine.
And like, there's kind of the she's sort of just assuming you're probably not going to share the bed with her, so she's just sleeping in the bed.
You would feel at one point in the night that he would in fact tuck you in and then go and sit on the stool.
When I say that she dresses down, she does not wear clothes.
I am aware he is tucking you
Is that
in
why you tuck
underneath
me in?
the cupboard. There is a blanket on the bed, I'm assuming, and that is what I'm doing because you're skin and bones and you gotta get cold.
I think performing surgery
Really?
would be as difficult as that.
You're worried about her getting cold.
It's usually she's an underwear sleeper, but like she's doing this on purpose, just probably just to make you uncomfortable.
I'm glad I chose these parents.
It was the most interesting pairing that could happen.
Absolutely.
I was like, I knew that Christine and Akfa were gonna go together.
It was either me and Abba or me and you, and I'm just like, now fluffy line.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I could bother
Zava
to-
smiles in the distance.
If I could ask you a question there, Sylvie.
Hi.
Did it hurt?
What, when I fell from heaven? No, I know. when this, and she points to the massive freaking it's like, I don't know if you guys remember it from the first session she was in, but like she has like a full-on faded white scar that's like from the base of her neck to down to her like collarbone, sort of. No, it's sort of like, yeah, between her like breastbone, basically.
Yeah.
And
that-
she has a matching one at the base of her spine, like her tailbone. I don't really remember it that well. It was very cold. And then just nothing.
Not even any feeling whatsoever. It just.
Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't looking when it happened. I was turned around. We didn't even know we were being attacked. Just suddenly, just cold, just distant, and then gone. And there was something after death, but I don't remember any of it.
When I got. Well, I didn't die, but I almost. I didn't know how he knew that we were planning this. May hush hush, you know. Someone must have blabbed. And well, here I am about 60 people short of a family. Countless dwarves on my hands. And a lot more I'm able to remember.
There's always a blab. Always for a reason. Money, fear, mixture of both. Always someone who blabs. Whether there's 60 to 70 of them or 4. In my case, there was 4.
How many?
One of them was. Oh, I mean, there was 4 of us. One of them was a blab.
Oh, he's.
The other 2 were dead. Yes, but I don't. From what I gather, it was fear. Maybe greed. I don't really care, honestly. I didn't need to. Haven't tracked him down yet, but I tracked a fair few of the cartel that were involved, including the one that did this. Thanks to this, and she holds up her sword.
Huh.
It was kind of poetic, honestly. I got to kill him the same way. With the sword. Felt good.
Not really hollow or anything. Like, what are you going to do after you finish your business?
Just keep living, keep doing. Maybe I'll move on from the Shroud. Maybe I'll stay with the Shroud a bit longer. Maybe I outlive the Shroud. Maybe I see the world end. I don't know. I don't really care all that much. I'm a goal finisher, Zalio. I don't like to leave things undone. At this point, there's not really that much vengeance left. It's just he's the last on the list, and I don't like the list being sitting there unfinished. It feels incomplete. It feels lazy.
Well, my list is a bit more longer than yours, to say the least.
Yeah, imagine killing a warlord is going to take you a little bit more than killing a frail old man.
There's him, and then there's what I have to deal with. Well, the other side of things.
Hmm.
Do you know why that thing? Do you know what reason we're wanted for anyway?
Do I know why they're wanted? DMs?
You would know the story
The propaganda.
where it's like Yeah, you know the posters saying how Xavier's wanted for like attempted murder and like breach of what's like it's attempted murder, breach of oath, and like destruction of destruction of property and stuff like that. Most of the others are wanted for attempted murder, assault, destruction of property.
Yeah.
Akfa has the longest rap sheet of also like just like attempted like, murder, destruction of property, multiple counts of both.
Most of it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Desecration of locations, etc., etc.
Church.
Yeah,
I
most
know
of
the
it was just
Batman
awesome.
is
plural.
story, but I'm going to guess that is mostly bullshit.
You see, went to the Absol. Went to the field. It was my job to go there, investigate. I'll share this little bit with you. I'm not sure how much you know about it, but hopefully I can trust you to know something about it.
Why would I blab? What interest in Tabris do I have? I'm not going to go to the whatever the people that did this and be like, hey, look, these people. No, I don't really care.
Well,
Oh well.
I was essentially assigned to internal affairs and was looking for something deep when Christine lost control and turned into a fiend.
Ah,
I managed to calm her down and de-escalate the situation, only to be poisoned and in prison.
do I know much about Gavels specifically, or like that there's
No.
any? I wouldn't know anything about like the unrest in the church.
No, that's not something you've been briefed on.
Interesting. So there's some little bit of bad blood going on in Tabris at the moment. At least in the church. Is this all through, or is this just a small area?
There are a bunch of inconsistencies of which I have gathered evidence for a trial, which I'm currently having to do. I can share the particulars with you. But suffice to say that when a couple years beforehand, like, what was it, 3 years ago? That Arthur went down the church?
I think it was only a couple months before the start of campaign, so it's probably been less than a year.
Yeah, that would have been the very last church.
11 months ago or something, Arthur attacked the Absalom and burnt it severely. Most of the repairs went to the very untouched armory. Like, they repaired everything, but a lot of them allocated monies went to the untouched armory. And we found there that they are imprisoning innocents and transporting them on behalf of, I believe, the Fifth Foundation.
You notice that she perks up a lot more once you start sort of getting into this, like, this kind of, ooh, they're doing some corrupt sort of stuff. Especially mention the Fifth Foundation and that.
I
That
will,
is interesting.
at this point, gently pull out. I'll first make a perception check to see if anyone's listening in. If I'm allowed.
Just make the roll and tell you if it means something.
I can see for this thing this entire time.
With the 16, you know that Sylvie's listening.
She's listening intently.
You
And
know Tabris isn't though.
You're snoring from downstairs.
Yeah, it's very quiet, and you didn't hear anyone else. Considering he gave you the first 3 keys, you know there's probably no one else in here. You've had your food already.
Up on are you openly sort of looking around, or are you trying to do this sort of like low key? Inside here anyway. Oh, my rolls tonight. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe we discuss this later on the road. I would be very interested to get your input on this. Maybe it's something that I can speak to my higher ups about. If there's any evidence. Who knows? Especially if it has something to do with what's going on now.
I will, at this point, briefly pull out this small journal, and I will gently hand it over to Sylvie. Inside are the records I have transcribed from the prayers as they can. They are both Christian and Osiris. These are legitimate records that I have in Absalom, which will conveniently be going lost at this time.
You don't mind if I maybe get a copy of this?
I wouldn't be showing this to you if it wasn't something
I appreciate it. Now, let's leave this conversation. We can talk about this maybe more on the road. Would you like some stress relief? You seem a little tense.
I'm always tense.
I could probably help with that.
And
I'm gonna
fade
need
to
a
black.
persuasion check for that.
My rolls have been awful tonight. Let's see. Hey, 18!
You know what? Roll this.
That one.
Alright. What
I
What
think-
do?
Imagination.
I think it's very simple what she's trying to play.
What do?
The
What
thing that she's been trying to do the entire time, that. She's trying to do that.
Consent without explicit permission. Just say.
I don't know how satisfied with my choice now.
Yes or no, buddy? I'm not going to be upset if you say no.
I start taking
And fade to black.
No, we can't fade to black.
Yeah, we
No,
we
you
most
have to.
certainly can fade to black.
No, they need a first roll constitution-based performance check to see how good they did, and then we fade to black.
No, see, even before that, this weird
You fucking
grid
idiot.
pops up, and you've got to match all these funny colours.
You have to do a bejeweled game in order to succeed.
Don't make me
But,
do a dexterity check.
It's not. It's a sextution, thank you very much.
Constitution. I thought it was called sexterity.
Anyway,
Ugh.
fade to black.
Alright.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to have a conversation?
Character
tonight?
goal complete.
Anyone else want to fuck?
I mean, not tonight, but
You're next. You're next.
Oh, I apparently.
I feel like I'm just a number.
I still have inspiration. Apparently, so I'll let that.
You don't have inspiration, though.
I think you may turn to a
Thanks,
spit
raspberry
take.
fizzy.
Alright.
Sorry.
Your saving face can't apply to this, right?
No, it's
No,
only,
it's
it's
only
only
one.
one LA. And sex is a battle. No, sex is a battle.
Yeah, you're fighting them, so no, it
No,
doesn't count.
no bonus.
You want a constitution based athletics?
No, I just want
No.
fade to black. We could do that
Yes,
later.
please.
Alright, anyone else have any more combos they want to do tonight?
I can't beat that. No.
No, I mean, Aqua does actually have a question for Christine.
Okay.
This is after eating and everything.
I imagine, yeah.
You've been, quiet for a bit. Though I was curious about something. The mention of sharing rooms, you seem to jump oddly quick at it. Something your mother say get you on edge.
She like chuckles to herself a bit. And is like it's that slight sort of like, okay, this is where it's going kind of thing. No. No, not particularly. More so of a. How do I explain this? I know I needed someone at the very least to be with me in my room. Because as you can see right now, as like she's in her normal form, I can't keep this up for the entire night. And
Of
I
course.
do not want to risk the possibility of someone coming in and seeing me, or just happening to see me. Because that could throw the whole thing out of whack. If my choices would have been either you or Sylvie.
I think both would have been a good choice.
I think either is fine, personally. If you're wondering if that particular thing... Look, I don't really know. Okay? Like... It's not that. I promise you. That was not my intention. If it comes off like that, I'm sorry.
Agva just has this look of, where are you going?
I just wanted to be safe.
Well, that is something I can at least try to provide for the night. And as I tried to promise to people, your family too. Whereabouts would Christine be sitting, by the way?
If it was just eating, I imagine we'd just be, with whatever.
Just
I imagine
wherever.
it's like only like one chair, and like
Yeah.
I imagine I'd be on the chair, you'd just be sitting on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of vibe.
Well, we can't be up too late if we've got to be up early, so perhaps we should get some rest.
Yeah.
Come. And sort of stands up and, tries to guide to the bed.
Should have
Okay.
picked the horny raven haired chick.
I feel like just from just that immediate, I'm just gonna make an insight check, just to see like just rough body language. 22.
So,
Whatever that.
Agva's body language is not implying anything of
No.
devious nature.
But you can tell, like, for a split moment, she is, like, a little bit embarrassed. And then just kind of, upon realizing, just shrugs it off. But, like, there is that kind of, like, sort of thought in her mind's, like, just lingering. But, yeah.
If anyone breaks in, at the very least, you can hide yourself against me, I guess.
Ah. I see. Very well. Unless you get up. Imagine at this point, like, just sort of properly getting herself ready.
Oh no, I'm 100% making her the little spoon.
100% you are.
Couldn't say.
And I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that.
You know what? Now I don't know if I want to go after Christine because this is just cute. I don't want to get in between this.
I mean, like,
Part of me doesn't.
at least in
Sylvie
that way.
does.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can get between it, but
Yeah, no, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, she'll follow along. She very much is. There is something half wanting to stop her in a little sense, but like she keeps moving. And depending on like, if the idea is like, what exactly did you want? Like, what did you want her to be?
Agva's just trying to guide you to lay down more or less.
Yeah. Yes, she does.
Mm-hmm. After that, Arkva will plop down beside you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not very subtle about it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Tries to guide you into sort of, arm underneath, sort of pulling you more into that sort of, what do you call it, snuggling position.
Is the intention like properly to put like yourself like around Christine?
In a degree, yeah. To a degree,
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically the big spoon.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a little bit of a slight rejection to that, as she kind of like turns around and prefers to face you instead.
He does not mind this.
And you could probably either tell there was just something there that irked her.
All the same, he does try to pull you in close.
Yeah, she, upon properly facing and feeling like she is not the one just there to exist, she will go in.
I'm not very good with the lullabies, but I'll try to sing something to help you rest.
You don't have to. I think this is. She'll just like, we'll probably like hold on to you. I think this is enough for now.
Rest well, Christine.
And like, you can just tell that she's kind of relaxing herself a bit more than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Just, yeah, holding on.
Yeah,
All right.
Catman is
Imagine
okay
no-
with the
imagine
silent
nothing-
wholesomeness.
I imagine nothing's really said.
Fade to
Nothing
black.
needs to be said.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You all couldn't be horny in 9 more sessions. Couldn't wait. Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know what the. Hey,
Yeah, these guys are vanilla and sweet.
but she's new to this.
That's means that the
This is
most
just
degenerate.
wholesomeness.
No, this is the most degenerate shit. I've got vapors.
No, here's the thing. Christine starts off soft.
Go Hesper, do it.
No, I was literally saying to Darren, the cuts to the other room. They're either already fucking or they're just having like a pleasant meal.
See, you've got to,
Wow, you were right.
you've got to like break through that soft shell first, you know?
Absolutely.
Darren, no, not that image.
What Darren said.
Half the stream.
Okay.
Maybe on the break. Is there a scene between Hesperin and Azaz, or are we fading the full night? It doesn't have to be sexual, it just has to be a scene.
Look, the real question is, can the others be heard?
No.
Yes.
For us, no.
One group can't be
Akra
heard.
is- I would have said Akra is definitely being a lot more soft-spoken.
I'm just
Yeah.
curious if 2 bedheads are banging.
No.
No.
At least definitely one sound.
There's
over.
probably one.
Doom, doom.
Block it out.
Here's the question: was Xavier and Sylvie in the middle room or the third room?
Roll it. You know what? Sylvie or Xavier, one of you roll a d6.
I'll do it.
Get a 4.
No, you
2, 3, or 4.
Yeah!
You're welcome.
Right in the middle.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you're cuddling, you just hear bam, bam.
I would try to cover her ears so she can rest.
Why my ears?
Anyway.
She's probably already asleep.
Anyway. I'm assuming not. So, as you all wake up, long rested, on the 2nd of Senate, I'll just throw a long rest even though you haven't really cast anything, just in case something happened.
I have technically cast stuff.
Cool.
Mhm.
As you all, wake up early, you all get a knock on the door. The man is considerate about like 4 o'clock, just like, you all wanted to catch the land bridge. Figured I'd wake you up to make sure you got there.
Thank you, sir.
And they just go back down. All they do is knock on the door. And, as like 4:40 passes, you all get ready, get dressed, probably go without breakfast.
Yep.
But Your wagon is ready for you all. The horse is fed and groomed. As two of you make your way to the bridge, you can see there's two guards there. One is like half asleep on the wall, and the other is like opening up like a little shed that's nearby. And as he's walking towards the bridge, clearly dragging this large stick with a lantern on the top, on the floor, as he's walking to his position, he sets it up, and then he starts like fucking around with a matchbox in his hand. He's like, "Fucking, come on."
Like this dawn is far enough away that you can only just start to see the edges of the sun on the horizon.
It's like still blue.
Sunset is beautiful in this place.
Sunrise.
Yes.
As the
I forget.
lantern's lit, you see as like you all start to get moving. He just puts his hand up, and then you wait a few seconds, and you see on the other side a similar lantern is also lit. And then he's just like,
Slight minute delay.
Yeah. And the dude looks at you all. He doesn't even check your cart. He just goes and like sits down on a bench and like leans back against the wall.
"Don't die, Cross. Welcome to Tide's Fair."
Believing that. Okay.
Sleep well, sir.
Fucking
Said
hate
welcome.
morning shift.
I begin. I'll gently steer the cart through.
Yeah, make a land of vehicles check.
Okay.
Nat 1, crash into the water, you all die.
I hope so. I hope that's the way we end.
What would that be? Intelligence or?
Wisdom?
I think in this it would probably be either a wisdom or dexterity.
I'm going with the stat that doesn't give me a -1.
So 0.
No.
Nat 20, yeah.
20.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Surprisingly alert.
Yeah, I was right. 0.
Yep.
Xavier does seem a bit more relaxed.
Xavier must have slept
it's
well.
showing off.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
You're more relaxed. You seem to have a lot less tension within your body, and you're also like when you did raids back in your old camp, you probably do them around this time. So you're good at seeing through like the dangerous parts of a raid during this fuck all darkness in the morning, and you quickly wade the wagon through without too much hassle. It takes maybe 5 to 7 minutes to do so. As you stumble across the other point, you see two like hyper chipper guards on the other side that, for those of you who hate the morning, they piss you the fuck off. These are totally morning people. They're happy. It's not even the sun's not near them. They're ready to talk about their day.
I could take it or leave it. Like, I never woke up this early, but I'm pretty sure I woke up early.
You've never woken up to see the sunrise?
No.
No, she
Yeah,
never.
actually not.
If she saw the sunrise, she didn't sleep the night before.
A morning
Studying.
person or a night person per se. Any time of day is kind of just the same to her. Like she doesn't seem to really sort of change tune at any point. She does tend to stay up a little later than most people, but if she has to get up early, it's not like she doesn't look like exhausted or anything.
They cheerfully ask the same questions the other guys did at the start, just probably a lot less of like who you are, but more of where you're headed, what gear you've got, etc. Which you do, following the lead from before. And you make your stretch on the thin road that leads into the Great Forest. Or around the Great Forest. I'll be kind and say change
never.
my words.
So
Never.
we get out of range of any of them here and yeah.
Yeah, probably in like 10 minutes. It's probably a bit too far with the sound of the wagon.
Yeah. So looking at the others in the back.
I'm just gonna keep this bag up for as long as I can.
So everyone awake and alert.
Yep.
You all got enough rest to keep you going for the next day or so?
I
I didn't get it.
Alright, let's why I have blindness and deafness prepared.
To yourself.
Either
Sumi
way,
has like her notebook out and she's got like the journal and she's just been like, since we moved away from guards, she started like kind of just writing stuff down.
either way, if some of you have never been through, I presume we're going to be passing through the scrublands in a week's time, if I remember right. 10 days, something.
A bit less.
Might be less,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a bit early to be saying it, but scrublands is, they don't have the most tastiest meat, but I mean, the hunt there's fun.
Might need to be a bit more careful when we get there. As I managed to find out. Yeah. As I was explaining some people last night,
Certain.
it was spotted. I have a very strong inference that, well, a certain hobgoblin and his army may be around that warehouse.
Wasn't it the savannah?
Either or. I forget.
We have been gone like a month, things could have changed.
Then we should keep as close to the water as possible. The further away, the better.
But seeing as we've got time ahead of us, I actually did have a
Yeah.
question now that we're sort of out of Gisli. And I looked at Zaz. Zaz, I never thought to ask about this while we were on the ship, but how did you get captured in the first place?
Putting too many eggs in one basket, I guess. Trust where it shouldn't have been placed. Not making that mistake again.
That is
Oh.
wise.
Welcome to the club.
Well, I'll be sitting here, working on some stuff or reading while we travel. Yeah. Pulls out
Alright.
upside down book.
Yeah, you guys travel.
It is a 4.5 day romp through the forest area. If
The
there,
forest is quiet. Luckily, not too much going on. Very little traffic heading. You guys like. There's pretty much no one you pass who is heading in the same direction as you. You do see a couple of wagons kind of heading the other way, but they don't really seem very not traders or mercenaries, just people. The only weird thing you see is because of the whole forest being connected to the Feywild. Occasionally, you see like a tree drop a mound of snow, despite the fact that it's never snowed.
Oh. There's still little woodwides?
Have I ever seen snow?
probably not, given
Probably not,
the
no.
savannah and the wastes.
Actually, no.
Please,
You guys did see it when you went north.
Yeah.
True.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, no, I probably would have seen it with the Minotaurs, wouldn't I?
Yep. When you spent time with them, it was you actually snowed in. That's why you were stuck up there.
Right, yeah.
Memories.
A time
Yeah,
long before.
Yeah. As you pass a day on, partway through the 7th of Senate, you see that the thick, evergreen trees of the Great Forest start switching to these very scrawny, barely any leaved branches and stumps. They become more and more sparse as you continue, as the outlandish grass of the forest, which is still relatively short, starts to become these large brushes of large grasslands. As the scrubs are in your sight for the day.
I haven't seen that in a bit.
I should switch to the mod map to show stream at least. Not bad. Just so
When was
you
it
get
last
to know
time
what
we
you
were here?
are.
It was Wargs, I think.
Oh, we can't
Oh,
have
God.
that as your token. He's
No,
not there
you
no
can't do that.
more.
I mean,
Nah,
he
we
can be
should
here in
keep it-
spirit.
we should keep
I
it.
like how
Because
Cyrus
he was
leaves,
the OG.
everybody starts fucking.
Yeah, I know.
Dad's
He
gone.
was like the moral compass grandpa.
Look, we didn't have any chance of getting with Cyrus. That was the problem.
And now everyone is a degenerate.
I was born a degenerate. Come on.
Literally.
Sylvie would be the only.
Darian, no.
What did Darian say now?
Don't worry. It'll
Tell
be
you when you're older.
no. It'll be the one. It'll be the after stream and or break thing.
Oh,
So
God.
many of
He's just
Welcome to Echoes After Dark.
What have I done? What have I started?
Selena's
you
not here.
did start
Hesper's the token.
Yeah, it's the same joke, just twice.
Yeah,
Should have been a Cyrus. We should have kept the.
he's gone now.
I mean, a Hesper's good as well, but like, I just feel like it's kind of sweet having like this, you know.
You know what?
He's
So
gone.
We
Nah,
used the
Dad's not
token
here
for,
to look after you anymore.
we used
Who
the token
is?
for Thug Easter.
Who really is here to look after us anymore?
Alright.
You know.
Yourselves, and it
Yeah.
shows.
Really?
So sorry. How many days did we?
This is 4.5 through the forest,
So I think we've been going for like 8 days already.
Yeah.
and to
Tracking my-
you know that not the nearest settlement, but the one that you trust more than Absolem, Duskview is another 4.5 days away.
Oh, that's the hard choice, yeah. We have to go there.
Unless we happen to run across a tribe, in which case most are friendly.
The next problem is when we do once we get to the Empire itself. That's probably the worst case spot for us to be.
We have to be on even higher guard than we were here.
Can't remember if I was given like any information of like a way to contact Shroud when I get to the location.
You have a sending stone.
Right, of course. Sorry, I was very much out of it last session, so
Yeah.
I do have this on meeting.
Well, we
Should
very
just
much
like
have to.
show that.
Like, you first, sorry. I didn't.
Oh, I was just gonna say she like pulls the sending stone out. It's like, oh, I can make contact with people.
Either way, I feel like we need to change our initial story now. Saying that we're heading to Drakazul when we're trying to head south of the Empire is not really going to help us.
Well, we could always try that passing as merchants thing.
I think that's probably the only chance we have.
And I mean, it's not like we don't have a little bit of coin up front to try and support it.
We can also play off the idea that a few of us are mercenaries for protection for this wagon. I mean, Xavier
think
right
you'd be
there
a
in the
perfect
front looks like a
mercenary.
perfect guard.
Yeah, that's right. My name's Timothy. How's it going?
Okay, Timothy.
I think the thing with well, not war per se, but when things are a bit rustled up, at least the Empire, it tends to make it profitable for some people, less profitable for others. At the moment, Gislane's kind of not the best time of year for it, but also, I guess, a little stagnant because of what's going on.
Guess
We
it's
also-
already
That
had
means
its
the Empire.
We have to keep in mind if there is actual chaos in the Empire at the moment, then it likely banditry will be at a high as well.
I don't think raising
Chaos.
a bandits would be a good idea, but potential.
Chaos makes for opportunities in lots of niches. Not always banditry, guard work, lots of different kinds of work. I even trade incense, weapons, potions.
I don't really have.
What's
I don't really have that particular kind of trade. It's better to say we're more so getting resupplied.
Well, we finished up our trade, we're simply on our way back home.
Exactly.
one thing that won't tend to move with the crowds? I dare say is prostitution. people, you get lots of different faces, you get lots of different clientele. You always move with the crowds.
We could always
just-
just eat anyone who gets in the way. Just saying.
Well,
That's also
I-
an option.
You ever bitten to a rust monster?
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not.
We tried that once. They were in our way. They didn't taste good.
That sounds like someone who has an unrefined palate. Picky
Yeah, I'm
eater.
just not used to the taste of copper.
I was always
Needless to
told
say,
sentient flesh tends to have a coppery aftertaste.
needless to say, probably best not to resort to something like that as the first option. While it may be a good new fresh rap sheet for you, pointing to Zaz, it's just an addition to the rest of us.
Hey, I'm not wanted
That's why I mean a new addition.
in any sense of the matter.
Oh, just a
Hmm.
from
That would
Christine.
explain why you're pretty unmarkable on the prostitute side. Hartford has that small, like, cat smack.
That was good.
I will eat you.
Hmm.
Please refrain from it.
You gotta keep a bit of humor about us, as we're on for a long trip.
There's a niche for everything as well, trust me. You'd be surprised what people like. Plus, he has a very nice mushroom hat.
It's not a hat.
Looks like a hat.
No, I tried to pull it off. I think it's actually part of him.
It is firmly attached to my
Convenient.
skull.
Never get a sunburn. Do lizard folk get sunburns? I don't imagine they do, actually.
Well, we've got a few days to get our story straight, but we've also got to avoid, well, whatever's in the scrublands now.
Yes.
If it's wargs, it'll be easy. If it's what Xavier hinted at, not as easy.
The wargs
Well,
are
what
coming
if we
for
know?
us.
Against
Either way.
pirates, shadow creatures, and more pirates, and what's the worst that can happen? I shouldn't say that. It'll be
You're really going to say something like that here and now?
fine.
Well, you could get lost in there. And points sort of back towards the forest.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I would prefer not to ever go back into there, but please.
Really that bad in there?
She doesn't continue. She actually goes quiet on that.
Going to insight that.
As you do. Thanks for the raid, Heideland. Thanks for
Actually, you
the
know
raid.
what's the same?
I insight that. I pick up that there's some awkwardness there, and I'm going to instantly change the subject. which
There
is
is
like,
awkwardness.
Don't care.
There is a bit of awkwardness, but there's also that, like, as soon as, like, it's sort of mentioned and touched upon, and, like, she doesn't reply, it's like that kind of,
touchy
like,
subject.
yeah, very touchy, but also very much like it's more of a self thing, where it's like there's something about her where she doesn't like going, yeah, not like the actual
completely
place
changed
itself.
the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, in doing that, she's just like. Well, anyway, I don't think I've really done much of the scrublands before. At least if I have, it's been a while. Probably traveling a little bit larger groups.
Just pray for quiet. Be ready for battle.
Good. Let's do it.
Right. You all continue journeying along, passing into the scrublands. The trees, as I said, thinning out very quickly, replaced by these dense brushes and grasses. Over the next few days, it is pretty quiet. You pass even fewer people on the road as before. As winter is coming in more, the weather itself is turning even colder every night, and you're seeing less and less people are traveling. As you get down, you finally hit the edge of the scrublands after a few more days, And you do pass something that caught you guys' eyes last time you traveled, which is a very small settlement on the border of the savannah. It's not much to motion, doesn't really have a name, but last time you guys saw a few Leonin, a small Leonin tribe appeared, setting down permanent roots in a location on the border here, which is marked on the map with the 2 dots. And when you come past, it just seems a little bigger than last time. Small huts, normally made of grasses and materials, have been replaced by woods and whatnot. Little jetties built out into the water, fishing is being done. It's not a normal sight to see Leonin laying down permanent roots everywhere, but they appear to be digging in for some reason.
They're evolving.
Or they're having to stay away from something.
When you guys get closer, like a few of them notice you guys because the road doesn't pass directly through their little establishment. It's like within sight. That's it. Some notice you all. A handful of the Leonin give like a one-arm wave as like an acknowledgement when they see Akfa.
Akfa waves back.
Yeah, but unless you guys want to go to them, none of them appear curious enough to want to come towards the road to you.
What's the time currently? Looking at the sky, roughly.
Probably about midday as you're passing through this area. Going the shortest path, you'll probably clear the scrub, the savannah, the like small section of savannah in a single day. So it's probably within the middle of it.
How are you feeling, Xavier? You feel like you need a rest for a few hours?
I can keep going, or if you guys want to rest, you can rest.
Can I insight if this man looks exhausted?
It's actually feeling really great right now.
Like days after, still.
How
Good what I do.
I mean, yeah, he's been at this pretty much non-stop, minus our small camps, I guess.
I mean,
Just
it's not a bad
curious.
idea to slow down now and have the full day to kind of cross the savannah and get as far from the fiefdom within one day instead of
We've
being
always been considered more neutral territory here anyway.
There's a benefit as well for resting here. It's more neutral in his eyes. Protect us if needed.
It's unlikely they'd be here. Well, I'd hope.
It's up to a group call though. If what was that? Jimothy thinks he's fine to keep going, then keep going.
You guys can rest while I keep going. Doesn't hurt anyone.
Horses do all the walking anyway.
Yeah.
Does anyone speak with animals?
They're fine. It's like you just walk them for 8 to 10 hours of the day. They rest all night. They walk again.
Yeah, especially
Not like you're running them anywhere.
especially with like 2 druids. Even if they don't care, they're in better hands than typically anyone else. Anyone with a decent animal handling can look after them.
They're also spare food.
And you have to keep spare food healthy.
Yeah, you don't want it to get all like diseased and stuff.
And you are passing through the one area where you don't have to worry about feeding them because there's enough grasses around they can just feed themselves.
I'm
Yeah.
just simply thinking it could be a good idea to at least stop for a moment and figure out why they've fully planted down.
Can't lie, I've got my curiosity piqued.
It might not be a bad thing to know what actually is happening in Savannah. Since we know that someone might be roaming around there.
These are, well, not my people per se, but my kind.
That seems fair.
See if you
Rest.
go in.
The rest of you fine with this?
I'm fine with this.
I'm fine if everyone else is fine with it.
Aye.
Alright. As you divert the track a little more south as you start making your way towards the small encampment, we'll quickly go on our bio break.
Sounds good. I need water.
I need to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to reiterate, thanks for the raid, Heideland. Yes, as you can see, they are travelling across the continent, which is lots of fun. So, I will be RB. Keep chatting to Dean.
I feel like we're gonna get to the freaking city this session.
Damn, it didn't do it right.
What's this?
I had to fix one of them.
What the fuck?
You wondering what AJ was laughing at? Those are the images.
Why?
Because why not?
Oh my god.
To chat, there was just before you got here, there was a bit of a fade to black moment with some party members, so I made some stupid images. The story so far, it's a long one. We're up to about session 60 right now. These party, to see the current story, they've been hired by a group called the Shroud to intervene in a currently cold civil war to try and end it before it begins. They're traveling across the continent to get to the city in question, where a group is trying to activate an eldritch machine to reactivate thousands of Warforged to support their Cold War. And this group is going there to try and stop them before they turn the big magic machine back on. I'd go into the full story, but it's been a lot. The whole campaign started with the party chasing an old man to try to get paid for their first ever quest. Did a goose chase around the entire continent before finding him back in the town they started in. Yeah, and then they found him back in the town they started in, where he was initially going to wait for them, but they didn't wait and find out.
Current story is heading to a place that has a lot of civil unrest.
Again.
Figuring out what the issues are.
I mean, where isn't having civil unrest right now? Like, the American Empire has the Cold Civil War. The Kingdom of Ghislaine literally had a coup that is currently
I think
on.
the Festering Maya doesn't have civil unrest.
I don't think there's any civilization in the Festering Maya. The Cortesian Concordance...
There's one guy!
Oh, there's
There's
one
an
thing
answer.
you know of.
One guy! One sec, I forgot more water.
Yeah, the Cortesian Concordance having issues with pirates, as they always are, though if that's issues or not, who knows. And you guys, all you know about the Union of Azeroth is that the situation is fucked. Everything is bad everywhere right now.
So all in all, the world's fucked.
Kind of. Well,
It's gonna be.
listen, things are going badly everywhere.
And we will make it worse.
Worse, better, that's yet to be seen.
No, usually it's worse. Usually it's worse.
Well, last time you guys interacted with any civil situation, you did almost burn down a hospital, so...
Look, that wasn't really more civil, that was personal.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wouldn't really call that a civil situation. More of a, they were holding my mother in a comatose state.
Yeah.
Listen.
Okay.
What do you mean, listen?
Listen,
What do you mean, listen?
I mean, you don't know the circumstances.
I got first hand told!
That's a 4.
This is a 4.
There's a 4.
I'm proud of you, 4.
Where are they?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Did we explain the life story of the campaign?
No, because that would
Basic.
take too long. I just explained the current arc.
That's fair
And a
enough.
little bit at the beginning.
What's that?
You shared the memes? Good.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had
did
to.
he?
Look in group chat.
Oh my god.
Did you not see them?
No, I'm on Do Not Disturb on Discord.
That's why I was like, Darian, no.
I'm sorry to chat, I would share them on stream, but one, AJ, I'm not the GM, I'm not the streamer, and also because I'm pretty sure it's against TOS.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Jaden can wear a shirt that says cock.
No,
Listen, I don't know
you can
TOS,
show
you're the man.
memes.
I can show the memes. I mean, it's just unzip stick, but
It is just
Like two different character portraits.
If I had
We
another,
had to fade to black twice.
if I had a thing, if I had a Discord entry, I'd show, but I don't. I can't be but making it. It's just a picture of it's just the artwork that's flashing by with the text unzips cock underneath it.
The zoom in of the headshots of Arthur, the big white lion man, and Xavier, the hobgoblin. But yeah, just unzips dick.
Let me just do the general. Are we here? And then we'll continue if everyone is.
What if never here in the first place?
Yeah, I hear it in spirit.
If you're never here, then that's fair. Missing 3 people.
It's all a ruse.
It's all a ruse.
I was never here in the first place. Did I ever
Mission
really
Weapons
exist?
Yes.
No. I would imagine not.
Have you marked off
True
the camera,
opinions.
AJ?
No, because the camera only gets marked off if I click on it. Like, there's 3
Fair
people missing.
Fine.
And then it'll add the camera when I click on the camera, so it'll make it 8 instead of 7.
Fair enough.
It's like way too warm. Why do I have a
It's
blanket?
very warm.
Why would I do
It's
that?
summer.
What the hell is wrong with it?
It do be.
I was at Kmart buying Christmas presents, and for some godforsaken reason, Kmart is selling Christmas sweaters. It doesn't get cold in Australia for Christmas. There's no need for this device.
Least cold season. This is gonna be the least cold summer that we've had for like a freaking long time as well. It is like
Least
insanely
cold.
hot over here,
Warm
and that's
everywhere.
saying something because we're with a cold state.
Since we've got a few people watching, should probably explain. If you're wondering why 2 people are talking to the GMing, it's because myself and AJ, or
Yo.
Skyflow, if you're on channel, we are both GMs of this campaign.
You didn't even say your name.
Yeah, I don't even need my name. My name's fine.
His name
It's
is
Darian.
Daniel. Daniel.
Damn. Daniel.
God damn.
Back at it again with that GM.
Damn, Daniel, what are you doing with those?
Double cheeked up
What are you
on
doing
a
with those plot
Sunday
points?
afternoon.
What are you doing with those constitution-based performance checks?
So, this is another like miracle of the Christmas season. We might even get to play Baldur's Gate tomorrow. What the fuck? That's illegal.
Oh my god.
You'll finish that campaign one day.
We are like 3 sessions away, maybe 4, maybe even 1 if they just like fuck the fights, let's run away.
Descending to Atheneum?
It's the same Baldur's Gate.
No, it's not.
I mean, yes but no, but yes.
Yes, but no.
Not the video game, but
Boogaloo.
I'm
not the
hearing.
video game, but the
Yeah,
That was me.
campaign
I'm
mode.
back.
No, I was just
Alright, we're all
hearing people, and I was like, okay, we're back. So,
Yeah.
jump back in the game. The silliness has left as you all make your way into the thing. This community it's pretty much like small town sized, not super duper large, but like there's a very amount like establishment towards the ocean, and a few huts surrounding it and tents and other places. As you sort of
Yeah, like the actual buildings themselves, there's only probably about 4 or 5 rudimentary style buildings. The rest is the standard grass type huts that Leonin generally use.
I do need to ask, is it just Leon in here?
No, like it's a majority Leonin, but unlike most tribes, there are occasionally other people. You do see like a Genasi out with the water. Like you can see that like some of them Leonin about like knee deep in the water, like probably fishing of some kind. There's like a Genasi man out there with them. But it's probably like for the 30 max people who are here, it's like 28 Leonin.
there is a bit of a little bit of a culture shock as well. There seems to be like looking off from like a distance away, but not part of the settlement itself. There seems to be maybe a group of maybe 4 or 5 humans all wearing like disheveled clothing that
Holy shit, Johnny, is that you?
from this distance, they don't look like outing wear. They look like very much like fancy clothing.
Oh. Oh,
Fancy clothing that has been through a hard time.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Oh, do I or don't I?
Akva would want to jump out and approach nearby Leonin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one who's like sitting by one of the tents, just like weaving these like long grass strings together into some structure. You're not sure what they're doing with it. And as you approach, they get up, give you another wave. This is one of the only ones who wave to you, and is like, "Ah, do not have many come to us this time of year, or really ever."
I will ask, was it in common or Leonin?
Well, he's speaking in Leonin to you.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we're passing through. We got a little curious as we haven't been back this way in quite a while. How long has this proper settlement been down? Is your chief still around?
He has not been around for a while. No, we laid down here several months ago. Decided that maybe it's time to stop wandering. Other tribes out there still do the long journeys, but maybe it's time for us to sit down.
I understand. I can't really speak one on tradition, seeing as I haven't been around my own pack in a while.
To come and to go from the pack is normal. There's nothing wrong with that. If you return to them, you do. If you do not, that is fine as well. You'll find a new pack. Maybe you already have.
I found family of sorts.
He just nods. Good.
But,
Family is good.
if I might ask then, who is, the main one in charge these days then for this little community?
He just shrugs. You'll figure that out one day. Since things are a bit different now, we haven't really bothered with that. The fish are plentiful and the bugs are not, so we'll deal with that when problems arise.
That is fair. I've always enjoyed a bit of fishing. Well, I'll let you get back to your weaving.
Are you returning home for the Great Pride?
There's hopes to do such things, yes, but we have another matter first.
Well, if you make it there, good luck to you. If you yourself are competing, we have chosen to bow out this year and maybe forevermore.
Well, if you don't mind, I want to have a look around.
Oh, free. If you would like fish, we're always happy to trade.
Fish is a good trade.
The man continues weaving whatever he's doing, holding it. In common, he greets everyone else here, being just give a standard like, well, welcome to our tents, welcome to our huts. If you wish to trade, we're happy to share what we have.
Coin will be... Coin is sufficient, but if you have any material that is more what we need.
Before properly coming out and presenting myself, I want as our force finished his first conversation, just cast a simple message, and I wanted to just basically say, do you think it's fine for me to be as is, or should I still keep up a disguise? It is replyable in silence.
I think it, actually, is it a mental response?
You whisper it, but they can't hear it technically.
Yeah.
They could read lips, and you're probably fucked, but...
I think it'll be alright. I will actually respond to you in Infernal specifically.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's not a common tongue for Leonin.
No, I know you cast it. I know you can speak it. Like, that's been known for a while.
Oh no, I mean the Leonin in general. It's not like a common tongue, even if they do overhear.
Yep, when you saying it's fine, I would probably appear out with the rest as normal to test the waters, poking my head through.
Yeah.
Mostly keeping an eye on like the group of 4 in the distance.
Yeah, they're like a little outside. Like they're clearly staying with these people, but they don't have a tent. They don't have a hut. They're kind of on the outskirts, like huddled amongst themselves.
They're sort of all sitting on these just small piles of lumber in like a square, like looking at your group who's entered and clearly talking about you from what you can tell.
Be a shame if someone were approaching that way. That's me subtly, not so subtly saying that.
I'm gonna go approach.
Yep.
That's what he's saying.
So you're walking up to these huddled people.
I approach towards their direction, but sort of. So where they're sitting, is it like more towards the actual coastline?
They're a
Or is
bit
it
in.
Yeah. So
Yeah, like they're
I'll
not-
make it look like I'm heading towards the coastline, but past them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. As you start getting closer to them, they kind of duck their heads close together and are whispering to each other. They take furtive glances occasionally in your direction. Clearly, it's pretty obvious that they're discussing you in the group.
I will stop sort of standing near them.
I kind of want to go along, I think, with this.
Okay.
Yeah, whoever wants to be there can be there. When you stop, they come to like a quick hush as one of them, who seems to be the elected in charge of this small group, kind of shifts himself and stands up. And he's like, yes? You?
The name's Pedro. I'm simply just looking out over the ocean.
Oh, okay.
Although,
Did you have to... You go, it's okay.
seeing as you spoke up, what is a group of you doing with, well, Leonin?
He looks back to the others, like the people down there. One of them shrugs and he goes, I mean, you should know. Everyone knows. Do you not?
We're a little out of touch with the news.
Been on an island.
Being more likely on the road. We didn't come across many travelers.
Well, Duskview is in hell right now. Commoners walking the streets, bugs destroying matters. Of course, we're only here because, well, the city's too full of wrath right now.
Dustview fell?
Well, no, it's not fallen. It's just... too many people at the moment.
Would you mind
We're
if I
all-
sit and we have a talk as to why?
Like, looks, sure.
Yeah.
Sit, yeah.
Sit.
You, one of the others, like, elbows him, and, like, they look around. They notice most of you have either weapons, or your various states are dressed like you all look rather capable, it seems, on the road. You are mercenaries of some kind?
Mixture of mercenaries and merchants.
When they look around, like, for us, I want to make an insight check to see if there's any recognition at all, or like, oh, I think I've seen this person before, or like that brief.
Okay,
Go ahead,
go ahead. Roll insight.
I'd like to. Let's see what this is before I press a button. I might press a button.
Hit the button. Do it. It's funny.
Oh, but I do still have the inspiration from the birth.
Yeah, but the other one's funny.
The other one is funnier.
Fair enough.
You can't help yourself.
That's what I get.
With the 13, you aren't 100% sure with all their glances, but you can tell a few of them are specifically looking at, like, Arkfur's gauntlets, Xavier's sword,
Okay.
on his hip,
Weaponry.
Sylvie's knife. Yeah, like, they're looking at your weapons, your armor. Very few of them are paying attention to your actual faces.
Good.
And you can tell they're very much, they're interested more in the fact they think you guys know how to fight.
Yep. All right. Then I won't really like bother hiding too much at the moment.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
just appearance-wise.
Merchants and mercenaries, a bit of a mixed group.
Oh, that's good. There's another one part of the group like looks at the one that's been talking, and everyone, the other two there, they all like nod a little bit.
Are you perhaps open for work?
I'd have to discuss it, but I imagine it involves Duskview, doesn't it?
Well, not the town proper, more of our settlements outside of it.
Our manor from... It's just only a few hours out of the city has just been a bit... It's a little infested, and if you could perhaps uninfest it, maybe we'll reimburse you.
What kind of creatures?
Your bugs. Not that important or dangerous, just nothing a good lord like ourselves should deal with. It's for the guards and the soldiers, and if they weren't all off doing other stuff, I'm sure they would have already taken care of it.
You say
Were
you're a
the
lord.
creatures? Were the creatures that we fought in the farm, the house that was like? Were those bug-like?
They were pretty bug-like.
Yeah,
I
one
wanna,
could
like,
consider them
describe
bugs.
the exact bug that I remember seeing. It's like something like that.
As you start describing it, he just like hand waves, like, oh, just bugs. You know, what's one to another? Just a cockroach and all. Must be a bit bigger, but who cares?
One just looks at him, just like, but they know what they're
I have my hand at the height I remember where they were. So it was like about this big. You think?
Yeah.
The details aren't that important.
A little bit if you're hiring for mercenaries.
Yeah, one of them is like clearly just like, why are we like, why? Like, it doesn't help anyone. This one's like, no, I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Shut up.
You know what I'm doing.
Perhaps a bit of bluntness is necessary when dealing with some people. We may be passing through that way, but there's no guarantee we can stop without a good reason. And clearly,
what's
he's not
better
used to surviving
reason?
on the outside.
What better reason than to help out your fellow man? You know, we're all part of this world, and we will pay you for your trouble.
Name one thing you know about my kind.
You travel a lot.
That's not entirely true.
It's not false, though.
Where do we travel?
The savannah.
Mm-hmm. And what is the name of the one thing we meet up with each year?
LionCon.
I think I'd actually laugh at that.
I think Sylvie would too.
You know what? I find you amusing. So tell me, what's your actual name? We
Mine.
can't assist without knowing where to go, after all.
You can call me Lord Paribus.
I do a history on that being from a place near.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I'm gonna even try.
If you want to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make like a. Can I gotta make like a disadvantage check in the sense
Yeah.
like the last time we passed through the Empire? Maybe I've
Honestly,
heard the name
Christine,
once.
you can roll with disadvantage if you want.
Yeah.
If
Give it a shot.
you can also roll with disadvantage, Xavier, because you're not exactly common to the area. Sylvie, you can roll if you want as well. It's up to you.
Oh my god.
Drop the nat
that
20.
could have been a 20.
Can I use my inspiration for that?
I mean, you can
if you want.
I got no other reason to use it.
Alright.
So,
With a 20, Christine, you know of the name. It's come up in just like random lord names of like in history. Like
Yeah.
there was a prominent person from the House of Paribus like a century ago that it's just a well-known, like, he was just a well-known then lord, and slowly, like, there's no longer any information about his
They
name.
lost relevance.
Yeah, it's just a lordling from a person who did something heroic long ago.
Yeah.
It's just been passed.
so definitely someone who's been born into the position. You know, with a nat 20, he is not really someone important. He's just he's one of the various lords.
Ah, yes. I think the name does ring a bell.
Of course, rings a bell.
From
You would know Parib. We're a well-respected family in Duskview.
I think
You
I may
help
have
us
read
out
the
with
name in
this.
history books from a few generations ago, last time I saw it
Yes,
mentioned.
my great-grandfather was a great statesman and warrior, and he did amazing things for the Amarician Empire, but barely before it was even the Empire.
What happened to you?
He.
Well, bugs.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, your great-grandfather?
Just one great.
Okay. Well, your great-grandfather was a hero who could hold his own and respected his own name. But you, what have you done for your name?
The other three people who were sitting down are kind of like, they've kind of pushed away from this one guy, and he's standing there on his own, while the other three have distanced themselves.
Akko
he's
will
looking
stand up as
around.
he says this.
He's looking around for support from the other people who have now left him. He's like, I don't know what I've done to slight you all. I'm just asking for some assistance and offering payment.
Be a bit more honest, at least from the start.
It's just some bugs. You all can take care of bugs, can you not?
Hi,
Everyone who wants to.
Hi, yes, we're fighting those bugs. Terrence is a fool.
Thank you.
We would very much like our manners back, and no, we do not contribute to society in any way, but we do like our fancy homes. We offer
I don't care
to...
about that second part. I just wished for some honesty.
Well, we have fancy homes, which means we can give you some money if you do this thing.
No, we won't be needing that.
That's...
So these bugs, they look like big, scripted
Well, your friend described them as she did big, maybe
Perfectly.
taller than us, hard carapaces, like to dig.
Some of them spit.
Good for building armor.
pancakes. I think.
Oh, whatever. I don't know what they're called.
Yes.
Alright.
Yes.
I would like to pull Lord Paribus a bit away from the fire.
Oh no.
He goes with you reluctantly, but you are bigger than him and stronger than him.
I hand him. Let me see what I've got on me. Tell me, Paribus, what was it your great-grandfather wielded?
My great-grandfather, he was well known as a great axeman. He would cleave into the chest plate of a mighty warrior, taking him down in one fell swoop.
Is that true?
It's true-ish.
Okay.
Well.
He was definitely a warrior. You don't know if he used an axe, but he
Okay.
If
he fought much, but he was a
Yeah.
warrior.
if someone was named like a lord, like, given his history, it's probably not out of the thing. He's probably a decent enough warrior to get lordship from that.
Yeah, just from that alone. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Paribus, and Ark will pull out his regular longsword and hand it to him.
Okay.
I want you to give me your best swing.
I mean, I don't want to cut. Clearly, you're a fine gentleman. We don't have to resort to shedding blood here.
Oh, you won't be shedding any blood.
He looks at his other people for support. They just turn away.
I'm nearby them at this
Yeah,
point.
the one that's been like interrupting talking is sort of like taken Christine to his side. It's like,
Yeah.
alright, here's what we need. He's like sat you down where he was. It's like, alright.
I'm like half looking over to see what he's doing with like a smile and be like,
As
ooh, this is fun.
Akfa will take up the stance to give this guy free swings. I need that on and that on.
I would like to
Jesus.
be in the background as the dude like turns to like. I assume he turns to look for like quote unquote help.
Oh
like,
my god.
I don't want to be in this situation. And if he does come across me, I wish to be salivating,
I like
like making
Yeah.
direct eye contact.
Zaz on one
like to
side,
make
like
tea,
salivating, and like Sylvia from the other side, like just if they make eye contact with her, she winks as she's just
Bullying
like
her.
watching the whole situation with her arms crossed.
That is both sides. Of the
As
spectrum.
as you're sitting there, as you're like you've got your arms out, like yeah, hit me. You just hear, very very tricksy. No, he's not got any form at all. Horrible. Probably doesn't even know how to wield this thing.
Can I basically harmlessly disarm him? I assume that wouldn't be hard to do with him.
You sort of just grab. You just grab the hand where the blade is, and then you pick it up from the blade and just take it out of his hand very gently. He lets go almost immediately.
You just take the 1 point of damage and just pick problem.
14 was his
Nervous.
highest area.
Do you understand why I did this?
I'm assuming it was to assess whether I could go and fight for my own home and claim
Of
this back
course
as a...
not. You'll fucking
Oh.
die.
Well, there were a lot of bugs. I didn't think I'd make it on my own.
I want you to make me a promise, Paribus.
On my name as Lord of the... head of the Paribus house.
How much value?
Careful how
As
you
she
say your
whispers.
words. I will burn it down if you're not careful.
What?
When this is over, if we can clear out that place, I don't give a shit for your coin. I want you to learn to wield a sword, an axe. I want you to bring honor back to the name.
Okay.
You'll do good as a lord. You'll help people.
Oh, well, we already provide great services for the... And he looks at your face. Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Can I do an intimidation or do I not need
Yeah,
to?
sure, totally. No, absolutely.
Oh,
No,
Just to
absolutely.
see how bad it is.
Do you want me to do it with advantage or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you've stopped him.
I'm aiding you. Yeah, high five.
Not even trying.
Yeah, this like he just cuts off mid-sentence. He's like, yeah, sure, absolutely. You'll clear my house of bugs, and I will strive to become the greatest lord that the Empire has ever seen. I'll help the homeless. I'll feed the hungry. I will fight the good fight and protect the people.
And then I look to his three, I assume others.
Oh yeah, they're completely disengaged from this conversation. They're
Yeah.
just discussing with Christine.
It's like,
I look in the direction and shrug.
you just hear it's like, yeah, if you do this, we'll give you money because he's like, that's not happening. Sorry, we're not that people.
Oh no, I assume that anything that is mentioned is probably still stringed with lies. So
How much do you want? Like, we can, what, 50 ahead? In terms of the other two?
And one's like, yeah, I can chip in for that. 50 gold apiece.
how
Sounds
many
pretty fair.
bugs did you see?
A couple.
There's a couple, but the
Or
guards,
somewhere else.
the guards and some knights have supposedly come down, and we haven't seen them, so there could be quite a number.
Oh, good. I turn to probably Sylvie. It's like, I'm not much of a negotiation person. Is that fine?
They mean 50 ahead of us or 50 ahead of what we fight?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. 50 ahead of you, obviously.
I think the other way sounds better.
Be a good way to read into the worth of them. I'm trying to think of a skill check, like an insight to see whether or not they're. I think an insight to see whether or not they're underselling.
No problem.
With a 24, with a 24, they could charge more. Like you're assuming that they probably have a lot more money, but it's just a matter of 50 a piece for all of you. It's like in a common, compared to commoners, that's a lot of money. It's a substantial amount, but if you wanted to squeeze them for more, you know that they've got the cash.
I think about the idea is for commoners this is a lot. For adventurers this is fairly easy job, I guess.
Also, I feel like in the background you just hear Paribus trying to convince Ark that I'll pay you. You clear our house. I'll give you a 10 gold pieces. It'll be great.
I put my finger on his mouth.
Been wishing that was better.
You don't even know how many of these bugs are there, and clearly my friends have seen them before. They know the risk that we will be going into for this. I think 60 ahead seems a little bit more reasonable, don't you think?
Roll a persuasion.
Okay. That's 13.
Yeah, they look amongst each other. There's a quick whisper one has to another, and then one of them is like, "We can do 60. Yeah, I'm sure we can make that work. Majority of our capital is back at our manors, so we could give you some now and come with you and wait maybe in the city while you deal with the problem, then you can come get us.
I turn to Christine. What do you think about that?
I
Seems
don't know how
more
much
reasonable.
time. I don't know how much time we're spending in this here. That's the problem.
It'll be on the way through.
We gotta be out quickly though. We still have places we need to get to.
It's not likely we'll be coming back this way.
No. Alright.
Hold on a second.
Nope.
I quickly start
You have your own transport.
a contract.
You do not need to put
Detail
anything onto
everything.
paper. I got a good feeling that from what they're going up against, they're probably not going to go back against their word.
Did somebody say paperless contract?
I'm saying no contract.
So it's standard for mercenaries to at least have a contract written out.
I'm not signing anything.
I mean, like, I don't think it's 100% necessary to put this in writing. What are we going to do? Our homes are there. You're going to know where we live. We can't exactly not pay you.
Besides, you all need to come by and find you later.
Look,
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
like the one that's been like denying everything just sort of just like gets up, pats a bag around and like feels this and he's like, here, there's 20. Like this is all I have on. This is all I've got on me.
Hold on to it for now.
I'm sure they can trust you. And plus, I'm quite the wizard at tracking people.
Yay, then. So we're in agreement. You'll help clear our houses, and we will pay you for your time.
60 gold, 6 people, 360 gold.
Yeah.
Is the correct amount?
This is where Zach cuts in and goes, "It's a deal."
You want it?
Sure, that sounds fun.
Yeah, you like how you just saying it's a deal? Are you going to like do a handshake or whatever? Or
Yep.
he just shakes your hand. The briars form around the two of you.
All of
He's
us.
like,
I thought it was just going to be him.
No, it's obviously the one who goes to shake Zev's hand is Paribus, because of course.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Briars form prick you both. Paribus yelps.
What in the places?
I'm not being involved in any of it.
Alright.
Well, I'm glad we're on the same page then.
Well, I'm gonna go have a little bit more of a look around and then get back to the cart.
We'll be right here. It's like you don't speak, bro. I'll be right here.
You'll be getting ready.
He looks around, picks up like a literal bundle of cloth, and he's like, "Yep, I am ready."
Bless the heart.
While Arkva's here, he does want to just double check he didn't miss any, sort of things when he was rebuilding his toolkit. Like he, just comparing to what some of the other Leonin have.
Yeah, like your toolkit you bought is basically bits and pieces of other kits from around different places you bought that essentially have the same set of tools. You can probably find some more traditional tools in this place.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in trading, like there are people here who, with a quick discussion, you can probably trade these. Because the ones you're buying, Gizlane, are probably better made in terms of like quality, but
Yeah.
they're not the same as what you're used to using.
They're probably they're a little probably heavier because they're probably made out of metal more than bone and stone.
Yeah, find a middle ground, just off-camera things.
Yeah, you swap some tools with a few people, end up with a kit that uses more your style, and these people end up with tools that will last a bit longer.
You know what? I'm gonna leave them with the cloth as well.
Just leaving them the cloth.
Yep.
They appreciate
made
it.
out of cloth. I'm sure they can use it.
Yeah, you leave them a cloth, someone gives you a fish. No, there's no discussion. You just you give one person a cloth, someone else gives you a fish 10 minutes later.
It's a standard trade.
yes.
Fish for cloth.
Trade.
1 square yard fish equals 1 cloth.
Big fish or little fish?
It's medium. It's not massive. It's probably enough food for
Nobody-
maybe Akva.
has any comments about this Briar thing come out of
No,
nowhere.
I kind
Just
of
wanna
have
put
thoughts.
that out there.
No, like when it happened, I was just like, not surprised, but glad I stood away.
Akva
Like,
didn't see it.
One of the other nobles was kind of putting his hand a bit forward to shake as well. Sees it happen, just kind of puts his hand back down, like, I'm good.
So
Like, let the idiot go first.
Yeah.
stuck in a mildly amused phase at the moment where she's just like, this just gets more interesting and interesting. But honestly, at this point, she just assumes that weird shit happens around here.
You could probably like see from Christine there's that sort of acknowledgement of what kind of what's happening with information has been mentioned before, and she just takes note and has that sort of look of like trying to sort of guess what it is, the vibe that is, and it's just it's calculating really, but not really approaching or not saying anything.
As your time in the village starts to end, the group of people following behind you are ready to go, and so are you, and they're just like, are we also getting in the wagon? It's a bit of a hike.
It's why I asked if you had your own transport.
Well, to be fair, I didn't answer the question.
I can walk and I'll sort of start to jump off.
You fancy man, get in the cart.
Okay. Yep.
Pyrbus hops right in.
Yep.
He was already
Yeah,
he was already moving to take Christine's spot, and then you give him the permission. He's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Akva's a little bit better on foot anyway.
I could use a stretch of my legs. Sitting around all day is quite dull.
We like old times.
I'm gonna take more of the back position. Just let me know if you see anything ahead.
Yeah, I'll say these people who they basically load up with you guys. There's Pyrbus, who is like a younger to probably in his like late 20s age man. The other dude who basically told him to shut up seems like a much older Genasi man, like a fire Genasi. He's probably looking at 40 or 50s. And then there's a young, kind of youngish woman and a man who just kind of seem to hang around together a lot.
Healthy body is a healthy mind, as they always say. Sit around too long, riding on the coattails, you get soft. She's sort
Well,
of saying this more towards like the group per se. Like she's like walking out, so like they may hear, but it's not directed towards them.
But they'll feel it.
You say that Pyrbus, those who are in the cart see his face goes red a bit as he's like he clearly takes this as some form of insult.
Yeah, because like she's like as he's gotten in, she's sort of like giving him the up down look, like the sizing up. Like
he gives you the
poor
up nod,
dude
like
is-
yeah, what up?
This dude is like, she has watched him like make an absolute fool of himself with Akva, and like it's like she's got that look of just like puny man.
He's acting like it never happened. Like he's holding himself with
Wrong conversation.
yeah, there was no talk. The Lion Man? I didn't talk
I
to
didn't
the
see
Lion
anything.
Man. No.
it went great.
But yeah, you all load up in the wagon. A few of you have to walk because there's now too many. But you continue the journey on. I'm assuming you're heading in the direction of Duskview.
Yep.
Seems that way.
Wherever they wish.
I have no control over the map because that's AJ's thing. But yeah, after a few more days of travel, you passing through you pass the rest of the scrubland, savannah, sorry, in a day. And after a couple more days, you approach the verdant fields of the Dusk Blooms, all of which are closed. You see the flowers are not in bloom at the point this time of year. But the very large, very widely spread city of Duskview starts to come into sight. It is, like always, very resplendent, shiny, and always looking a bit polished, with the walls that exist mainly for show, and these large manors for the rich who occupy these lands, clinging to the tops of the hill, while the commoner people are spread out outside of these walls, and also outside of the fields around the town. As you roll on, yeah, you go.
I was gonna say just before like we properly roll on in, I do want to like, just like before getting to that point, use the altar self to go to the same form that I've had like before, and I'm going to jump sort of into the car as like I'm sort of shifting, like that, many towards the four of them, and I'm going to almost like sort of playfully just sort of like sit down next to them, and as it happens, I'm just gonna like, now, if anyone asks anything, please be a little bit quiet about this. I'm very much not exactly the best person. For them, they don't like me just because of what I am. I'm happy to help you, but if anything is said, the deal's off, and we're just gonna leave you in the house.
Yeah. The couple doesn't like they kind of look between each other, and they just like go quiet again. Initially, there's nothing said, and then Paribus slides a bit across to you. Goes, so you do that often? And then the old man like kicks him.
Akra walking out the back is checking his balls against his teeth, like a toothpick.
I sort of noticed him like walk back a little bit to the view. I look a bit at him, and I look back to Paribus and like,
Yeah, and the man who clearly thinks himself the absolute pinnacle of charm attempts to charm you with his completely blatant and false statement as he talks about the glory of his house and how amazing he is.
and as he starts, I'm basically just going to place a finger onto his lips and be like, shh, and let the eyes flare. Don't even try.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Funnily enough, I'm proficient in deception, not persuasion. I don't like that number. It is a new day, right?
It's been a new day.
It is a new day. I just like viewing
Yeah.
it. Also charm related, it makes sense.
Go for it.
They learn how to threaten so fast.
That's fun.
You put your finger to his lips and go shh, and he looks at you. There's a moment where almost a flash of shock passes through his eyes at being told off, and then he kind of like lowers his brows, but is like, he talks through your finger. He's like, well, if that's what you want.
I said don't even try.
But yeah, the cart continues rolling. As you're getting close to the city, you pass through the first of these outer houses on the western side, and immediately you can tell it is a lot more populated. The last time you guys were here, you remember that Duskview, despite being a very large city, not a lot of people live here. It's a city for the rich and those who have the money to enjoy luxury. But you see a lot of people who are wearing rags, who clothes that look like they've been slept in for multiple days, maybe out in the weather, around the outside of these useless walls. There just appears to be clutters of people kind of almost hugging up to the gates as if they're hoping to be let through, but still sitting out in the weather. And as you approach, people move aside, look up at your cart as they see you passing. Xavier, with your helmet on, no one seems to notice that you're a hobgoblin. And there's a lot of people who are looking up at you with a bit of like, clearly a look of, maybe these people can give us something, maybe there's something here we can do. A lot of hopelessness, as you remember that this is kind of a rough time for this country.
Yeah.
When you reach the gates, yeah, you go.
I was just wondering when the last time I've been in Duskview was. Like, I'm assuming it was way before any of this. Like, it would have just been.
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
Stage. Okay, cool.
At the latest, maybe you were here last when the first sighting started, but that was months and months ago. And yeah, approaching the city, when you get up to these gates, the situation only gets worse. Crowds clearly arguing with guards as they're trying to. You can hear people shouting like, "We need to get inside. It's not safe out here." Like, "My children need somewhere to stay." And the guards be like, "I'm sorry, but we've been told not to let any more people in the city. It's as full as it can be." And just a lot of unhappy people. As the wagon rolls up, some guards initially stop you, give a quick look over, see that you're not like random They, from a quick look at you all, they can tell that you aren't refugees, and without much fuss, with everything going on, they open the gates and start letting you all in.
I imagine like still in the car, like because I would have probably tried to keep my sort of merchant feel to it. I would have like probably kicked Perseus to be like to sort of make him spell his face. Herbis,
Oh
sorry.
yeah. Well, that's when they look over. He pokes his head out because he can't help himself, and then quickly sits back down when the person starts looking over everyone's faces to be like, "All right, these people aren't refugees; they can come in." It's not the greatest of feelings, and also there's probably 3 times as many guards here as last time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you pass through the gate and you enter the city proper, it is a much quieter situation. There's still people on the streets, but all of them look a lot more like Erebus and these other nobles, where they're clearly got money to their name, just maybe not access to it right now.
Yeah.
As you have a look at the guards, they all seem to be pretty tired. Some of them are
Not really
wearing...
keeping track of us.
Yeah, some of them are like wearing just like they could have been in these Under Armours for days at this point.
God, this place has become a shit show.
Where isn't at this point, honestly?
You know, I think
Yeah.
I think the Confederacy's pretty good.
I think the comment of Duskfield's Fallen is fairly apt.
But yeah, you move in a bit. It doesn't. You get not even like 5 or 6 minutes past the gate, and the sound of the clamor that was outside starts to fade away. Everything inside seems a lot more calm. If you stayed away from the walls, you could almost imagine that there was nothing happening outside at all.
Oh, neat.
And it's probably why the city is designed this way, to, ignore the problems outside its useless walls. There is a big old, the amphitheater that overlooks the fields has a big old closed sign on it where it just says out of season. But as you move in, at some point when you're passing by, the 4 people in the back are like, you can let us out now? We will stay in the points to some tavern nearby. We can get rooms in there for now. You can just come find us when you're ready. When you're done, and we'll give you our payment once we return home. They've given you the location of their little manor, little group.
I look
They
to
have,
the older one in the cart.
Yeah, you've known this Fire Genasi man. He's like I said, a lot older than the others. His name is Greyheart, Lord Greyheart, and he's what do you want to say to him?
Oh, it's more of a look as if to say, don't let this one run away.
Sure, he'll make sure he's out of earshot of Erebus. I'm sure the little lordling definitely wants his home back. It's nice and warm there for him.
Of course.
Well, good luck. Not going to lie, I hope you return rather swiftly. These old bones don't do too well in winter.
It's cold.
It's cold. It is winter. It has been
It's
getting colder every day.
it's the start of winter proper.
I look to my fur.
It doesn't ice or anything. Yeah, good point. Good point.
He's pretty fine.
I feel like Akra is designed to be able to deal with heat and cold with the insulation and the fur.
How do I do with cold?
It's not great. It's not like it hurts. It's hurting or anything, but it's uncomfortable.
Winter takes you a bit longer to wake up.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna say
perform.
a cold-blooded. Be a bit uncomfortable.
Not super long, but you're
Just 5 more minutes.
you're groggy for another hour. You're just woken up lasts a bit longer than it usually does.
It's just the start of winter. It's only the first few days in, so it's still not every day is freezing. But the more days that pass, the colder it's going to get.
Does it
But
look
luckily-
like they could fit more people in the city?
Oh,
but
definitely.
they're
For sure.
They're just being.
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Like I said, it seems everyone inside the city who looks like they've got these days-old clothing on, they also look like they probably have money. It's everyone outside are the people who probably can't afford to.
Yeah.
But last time you all were here, you know, this city's not one of equality.
No. No.
Listen, the rich live on the big hill with their wall, and everyone else lives outside the wall.
You know, if we had the time, I'd love to smash that gate open.
There's a lovely field as well. I'm just saying.
I actually sort of hold the moon touch sword in one hand at the sheath, and it's like, good to bring this home too.
Yeah. And yeah, just to the
So
south
are we
of the
heading
city would be
back
the
out
nice field.
again?
Yeah, you guys gonna try and leave the city same day, or do you want to rest up and head back out the next day?
Well,
What time of day is it? Is the question I guess.
Probably around 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's early. It's not quite evening yet, but in a few hours the sun will be setting.
personally, I'm eager to stretch before dinner, but
How do you guys feel about hanging around with the rich flower pickers or getting back on the road?
For one, I feel like it's best to get out straight away. But kind of like looks a little bit in the direction like towards where the fields would be if they were properly like blooming and all that.
Yeah, this time of year, there's
It's
no
like
shimmering at night.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, from the direction they gave you, you know it's still a few more hours away, but if you traveled, there's a possibility you could get there maybe a little before sundown. The chances are, like, if you want to do it today, you're probably going to be getting there at nighttime.
Yeah. Probably
Given
not the
all
best.
6 of you have dark vision, I don't know how much
Not
of an
the
issue that is.
True, yeah, true. No that vision.
It's up to you guys to decide.
I'm indifferent either way.
Muffa's just trying to stretch the arms.
Yeah, so you guys want to stay or go?
I'd probably use the rest at least to prepare myself properly for what we're doing.
Then we'll go first thing in the morning.
Yeah, not long. I wish to not stay in a place this guarded.
Well, I mean, we could go stay with Fancy Pants. I wouldn't mind threatening them for a whole night.
I think you've already scared him enough.
Oh,
That's
I
fair.
could definitely see him scare them some more. I'm not
I could
going to
see
lie,
him
that was
missing some
fun.
bits.
No, you make them squirm, you make them fear. Don't just rip the limbs off, that's all the end of everything.
I think Zaz is just hungry.
Oh, well, we have bugs that we're going to be killing. I'm sure they'll be edible.
No, my food.
So
Right.
you're just gonna find somewhere to stay for the night?
Yeah.
Once
Yeah,
again,
what else has been here?
Hmm?
There's a good tea place. Never got to see it.
I remember a place of such. To be honest, don't remember much of this place.
yeah,
We could go for some nice leaf juice.
once again,
Somewhere once.
once again, your group returns to the Sleepy Hammer, an inn slash patisserie slash tea house where you meet with Pot and Kettle, the two dwarves. One does not have a beard, as you all. As you pay for a night, it's a bit more expensive than traditional homes. It's probably about 2 gold per room per night, and with that you get like a breakfast in the morning.
Just a quick question, since I was happy to be the upfront person paying. How many rooms?
They have enough to put like maybe 2 rooms for the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nogfa's happy to place down mostly a decent tip again. We'll just go flat. Keep it simple.
See?
Yeah.
I take it with that, Pot takes the thing, calls out, Kettle sees it, and as you're going, like, getting your things up, you see Kettle running up with, like, a little tray of tea and stuff to be, like, for the trouble, here you go, a few drinks on the house.
Thank you.
Inazaz, you very much notice that Kettle is watching you quite carefully, and you realize after a minute or two, they're not watching you, they're watching your mushroom cap. And you can very clearly smell the scent of fungus clinging to some of the edges of this room.
It just normal fungus?
Not any you're very familiar with, but one who is in tune with one who's in tune with spores and fungus. You can tell that there's a lot probably nearby somewhere, and that this is probably not just leaf juice. This might be mushroom juice.
Hot
Maybe we
mushroom
should go
juice.
searching for the biggest abundance of fungus in this place, wherever that may lead me.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. You literally walk through a side door that says employees only, because I doubt you care.
No.
And you very quickly enter like what looks like a brewery style room for like tea making, whatever they call that. And rather than there being like fancy flower pots in the corner, both like two of the walls are covered floor to ceiling in like pots of various types of mushroom.
Was I followed into this employee-only section?
Probably,
or-
yes.
Not
So-
immediately, but like Kettle comes in like a second later. Like, I'm sorry, you're not meant to be in here.
I wish to swap some of the mushrooms that are there for my own mushrooms.
Okay.
You just take
Okay.
some of their mushrooms and just put your own on the thing.
Yep, and put my own on the thing, and they will grow like wildfire in like a hot minute, and they will fuck you up. And then I turn around and just leave.
Oh,
What kind of fuck you up? Is this the good kind or the kill you kind?
Both.
Oh,
oh my god.
So it's good and then it kills you.
Oh, you'll trip, but
But then you'll trip and
if
die.
you aren't very constitutional, hey, maybe something bad will happen. You don't know. It's just mushrooms.
You poor boy.
Yeah.
What have you done?
So you take some of the mushrooms. Kevin's clearly being like, sir, those are mine. I cannot. They're from really far away. At least leave me some of them.
one.
You just
I
take
need
an
the
entire pot or
spores.
something.
But just a clump, and then
Okay.
I put my own there, and then the ones that are my own there pulse in sync with my own headpiece.
You can tell he doesn't realize this at first. When you start walking out, he's more concerned with the man who just stole a fistful of mushrooms. Not the most normal thing to do, but very after a bit, he like looks back at what you've done there, sees the flourishing mushrooms, he goes, "Wait, is that?" And he like walks out, and the door like closes behind you as something about the rapidly growing mushrooms has distracted him.
It's called inciting chaos.
As you all.
Someone needs to.
Yeah, you each have your rooms. You just gonna split them boys and girls, or
His and hers, or fucks and not doesn't fuck. I don't know.
That'd be a pretty odd
I
numbered room.
Man, I'll ask it like this. Do you think we could separate Hesper from Zaz at the moment?
I'm not sure you could.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just whoever goes in what room.
okay. Any scenes or anything?
Who's with the room with Hesper and Zaz then?
I am.
Well, I know you are. I said your name.
No, Jeremy's there. Not
Would not.
there's Hesper's ass and Jeremy.
The real question is, it's obviously Hesper and Zaz in one room, and it's
Yeah.
probably going to be Akper and Christine in the other room.
Oh, we could swap.
No,
Could we? I think that Hurricane Xavier and Arthur could.
You know,
I mean, both of you can come in the room.
True.
You could just go
Well,
for
we've got
two.
one room then.
Like, there are only two rooms, so yeah.
Yeah, true.
To be
Oh,
fair,
there's 2 rooms. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
we did have a little bit of time, and I do believe Arthur mentioned that he was interested in sharing some tea. So
Yep,
would probably
sure.
just chill in that room with at least Sylvie and Christine to begin with.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Sylvie's like, like the idea of just sitting down and having a nice pot of tea is like she's into that. She likes that. And yeah, I'll go with you guys.
I don't know how Christine feels about that. Like,
Sharing tea.
I don't know, it's just like sort of a bit repeating something from a while ago. Like she does it, but it's just that sort of kind of look. Like she is like thinking about like something, but probably not able to tell what.
Can I insight?
You probably could not. Were you not?
No?
Were you actually here at the time? Well, that's a good roll.
No,
You can
but
get something.
I want to insight to see if something
Yeah.
seems off, not necessarily. I don't think I can tell what.
Yeah, I don't think you were there for. Like,
I'm gonna do the same. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do the same to see if I can.
I'll wait for the second roll.
No, I'm too
Okay.
busy drinking my tea.
I mean, yeah, for Sylvia, it's just the same old, like, kind of, every now and then she just is on her own, in her own head, like, she's quiet.
Yeah.
That's
Like
just how
I can
she
hear
is.
your breathing patterns.
You can tell, actually, it's not a bad thing, you can probably tell that her breathing's just, like, sort of slow and is a bit more, like, not heavier per se, but, like, she's definitely, like, more focused on something. Something about just like having this sort of environment just feels weird or something to her.
Has something got you uneasy, Christine?
Well,
If it's the building or the tea, I mean, we can go back to the cart.
no. I'm just, I guess in the sense, remembering last time came through here.
You stayed here last time?
Yes, actually, we did.
I do believe this was the place that your sister found the sword I carry.
Zoe found that and as well as the weird essence of the flowers themselves that helped create this pendant. Well, infuse the pendant. And yeah, it was right after everything that happened in the forest as well. A lot happened within a small time. I think I even remember strange dreams and such as well, which still to this day I don't know why.
I apologize. If I'd known this place is bringing back awkward memories, I would have chosen somewhere else.
I wouldn't really say awkward. I guess the word I would use is a bit confronting in a sense, but also a bit reminding me how I was when I was here last, which was, well, less than savory.
Could you call it bittersweet?
In a way. I mean, since like you remember how I was when we first ran back into you.
I do.
The other city.
And I apologize again for
No,
being
no. It's wasn't entirely your fault. I was just mad at what happened in the circumstance. And I was mad because of what happened in Ghislaine afterwards. And I put blame onto you when it was more so just finding something to put my anger towards.
Well, it doesn't really change your situation or what's happened, but just know I'm glad that I came back and found you all. Especially some of you more than others.
I'm glad to at least have someone back that I can rely on.
People grow and change. It's part of life. Sometimes we confront things, and other times we just have to wait for them to confront us.
I feel like that's always a thing that will occur no matter where I go. Annoyingly. But don't let me stop you from having your tea. I Sorry, I'm mostly just in my own head at the moment.
It'd be more comfortable if, even if you don't feel like drinking it, I still would like for you to sit with us and just listen.
Of course.
When it comes to rest, I'm happy for you two to have the bed. I am quite accustomed to sleeping on carpets.
I mean, Osiris only gave you a carpet in the tower anyway.
Well, he tried to give me a bed
Didn't you try to steal his carpet?
more than once. It's
That's fine then.
it's all right if we're gonna miss him.
Mm. I mean, travel is definitely very different.
But this sort of travel is something it reminds me of what I used to do.
I guess to me it brings back our first leg of the journey, which in itself is not really the most pleasant in my own mind.
Well, if you want to go that far back, I remember when I think it was when the very first part we started. It was, God, my attitude was bad then. I did not trust any of you.
I got a feeling I was probably no better in the sense. Instead of blind distrust, though, it was more, I guess, meek weakness.
Well, how about we look a bit further ahead? How are you feeling these days? Confused?
That's probably the one feeling that I've been dealing with since the beginning. And even now, well, as more things get told to me or come to light, more and more I just feel like I'm just being led along every step. It's frustrating.
But it'd be fair to say you've gotten some answers to questions you may have had in life.
Well, I mean, when I started, I didn't know that, I didn't know my mother or father.
And
So
I've got to
that's, I guess,
say, you
something.
do have a lovely mother that we found.
She just, yeah, sort of.
I'm going to look towards Akpo when he says that and just like give him a wry smile, like,
Based on what I ever heard, I don't know if we're going to find your father, but, well, if we do, I'd like to meet him with you.
Honestly, I don't even know what to even think about that particular point in time right now, and it's not really one that I think we even get to very soon.
It may be a
How-
ways off, yeah.
There's no way in hells we're going to be able to get past everything there. And even then, we need to figure out if he's just under the same thing my mother was or something else. He
Hey,
could be doing something more devious. He is
well,
powerful.
if we make it through all of this together, alive, would you want to meet my parents? They're, a bit wild.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
I wonder if they've
But-
mellowed out.
Did they dislike that you left the clan?
It's been a while. Some bits of my memory are still a little fuzzy on events from then till, I think, up till before we started adventuring.
That's fair enough.
I know that they supported it, but at the same time, leaving a tribe is a bit different to,
Going out for a journey.
yeah. After all, I did leave to go train with those eyes.
At least that was, well, even though what it turned out to be, at least it was still a goal in mind.
And I mean, our adventures did lead us to meeting a lot of people along the way so far.
It has.
Some that I
Though-
really hope we come across again.
Though I find that there are a lot that I wish we'd never see again.
Also true. I mean, we also found this one. They like tea.
Yes, I do. I must say, you are definitely a group of the most interesting people I've ever had the luxury of traveling with. We get a lot of same in my line of work, and it's nice. I guess it's the travel. It's something, the beauty in the travel. Seeing the world, getting out of a city. You look at the people here and they're just filled with monotony and classism, really. It may be a hard road, but at least you can wake up and do something meaningful with your days rather than the same shit over and over.
I don't know. There is still that comfort in routine, I guess. I bet if I were to even speak to myself back then to say to leave earlier, it'd be a hard sell. That tower that I lived in was honestly the last bit of comfort I had for a time.
Comfort's not always good.
No.
Comfort's also not always obvious.
Breeds fear. Breeds softness. Like those people we traveled with before.
I know.
There is definitely power to this kind of life. As hard as it can be. And it makes for a good story.
I don't think I'm really one for the stories. As long as I can get what I want in the end, that's all that matters.
I think you could tell a good story. You certainly could, Arthur.
I'd like to think I'm writing my own story.
Well, I'll hopefully read it when it's done.
There are a few key characters in it so far, at least. As Akva puts down the cup of tea. I'm gonna go get comfortable just over there. You two can discuss. I won't eat with you. As even though we're in the same room, he basically gets up, moves to like the not onto the bed, but like the side of it, and sort of just gets comfortable.
Yeah,
Carpet.
you just sit on the ground.
Yeah.
Near the bed.
You steal the carpet on the floor and put it there instead.
Yeah, it's like he will probably end up curling up there if no one tells him otherwise.
I ain't gonna tell him otherwise.
Mm.
No qualms.
As your conversation continues with the two of you and the others, you all eventually fall tired, make your way to bed, and all get a rest into the morning. As you're waking up, you all have some. You hear a knock on the door. You get some pastries and some like eggs and bacon, some nice rolls for breakfast with some more tea. And as you see that, it's also come with just a separate plate just full of like charcuterie meat. Just it's like he specifically hands it to you.
He devours it.
So, he whispers like, "I'm gonna get some good cross-pollination going with those mushrooms. There's gonna be some good tea."
no.
Oh my god, no.
The only cross that's going to be involved is the ones at their tombstone, but you know.
I've already gotten
That's
rid of the
not cool.
poisonous ones.
Oh.
Fun.
Man's a mushroom connoisseur.
Makes sense.
I'll say I rolled a nature check to see if you could tell them apart, and he rolled a 19 without 4 modifiers.
So Darren, you could roll high.
When
Yeah.
on
When
occasion,
it's,
it
when,
doesn't
it's,
matter.
when it's for a mushroom man to do his mushroom plan.
Hey, you gotta take the dub when you can.
That's why I'm announcing it.
Eventually, you all gather up in your wagon, and you. Or do you leave your wagon here? Are you gonna just walk the couple of kilometers it is to these houses, or will you bring your wagon with you?
Not my wagon.
We could.
I mean, are we gonna come back and tell them, or just hope that they can look?
We have to come back to tell them. So,
Yeah.
how long would it be on foot comparatively?
A couple of kilometers is probably about like an hour. Just an hour of walking.
Not far
Yeah,
at all then.
it's not so bad then.
No, they've said like it isn't that far out of the city. It's on the eastern side in the direction where the reports like where things are happening, but it's really not that far away.
At most, it's like 2, if you're slow.
Yeah, like if you took the wagon, it would definitely be an hour. On foot, maybe hour and a half to 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably be on foot then. How long does
Alright,
it take
cool.
to get out of the city?
Oh, not long.
Not super far.
From where you guys picked I'm assuming that the inn you guys picked is more close to the eastern side.
Yes.
That part of the city is also a bit more empty, as people seem to be gathering more around the western side. From walking out there, when you leave, you get a few looks from people. People have been absolutely giving you guys side eye, as
Yeah.
most people, everyone here, like it looks like they have money. Not a lot of them look like they know how to fight. Well, most of
Full
you look like
Genasi
you know
as
how to
well.
fight.
Well, looking.
Yeah, I assume.
Ooh, could I fight
Full
the whole
genocide.
town?
Full Genasi.
Yeah,
Could you
well,
fight
that-
the whole town?
probably.
Minus the guards.
Well, yeah, of course, then
You
easily.
might have trouble with like a handful of people, but most of them, nah.
As they're all like looking at you, like clearly wanting what you have, you all probably just brush past them all, make your way out of the city, and as the sunlight of early morning on the 10th of Senate hits, we'll call it there.
Alrighty.
We would normally go a bit longer, but given the state of
Sorry.
A couple people,
That's
yeah,
fine.
people need to rest eyes. Some are sick.
Yeah, I look forward to combat.
yeah, next
Oh,
session.
don't worry, we're getting there.
I think next session we can definitely guarantee there's going to be some fighting.
Yeah, if it needs
Yeah.
to stretch.
As we all, round this out. Do we have the streaming people have any cool streams this week?
No, I forgot to stream this week.
Oh,
Amazing.
Genuinely forgot.
Yeah, Mim had to leave early, so she unfortunately cannot announce what stream she does.
but check out twitch.zara for her, twitch.tv/snowfoxau for Sam, and twitch.tv not Skyfall for Dimitri. I'm not sure if he's present or not.
I fell asleep.
But yeah, you can see me more on this channel on twitch.tv/skyflourish. Tomorrow I'll be playing some more Near Replicant, or a bit way through Route B, and we've still got fucking 3 more routes, one of which is a fresh save file playthrough, so that's gonna be fun. Tuesday is more Amori. That's lots of interesting storytelling going on, and I like it a lot. Wednesday is more Pokemon Black 2 Challenge Mode Hardcore Nuzlocke. We've got Drayden. I have to prepare for Drayden. And then the Elite Four and all that shit. All the hard part is now. That's fun. You can join pretty much everyone, not everyone here, but me, Darian, Kay, and Tez with our friend Rebecca, as we are on Bringus Farms, Stardew Valley Let's Play. We are nearly done with summer. I think we've got like a week left. We'll probably jump into parts of autumn next season, as we're rounding out year 3 of Bringus Farms, and probably maybe at some point when things settle down, get to Brinkus Farms expanded sometime.
We'll wait for updates and everything.
Yeah,
first.
wait for big updates,
And
for
more
mods to
games in
update, and yeah, etc. And you can join the same people I just announced on next Friday for session 19, chapter 19 of Guardians Rebirth, the homebrew D&D campaign, where I solo DM and everyone else is a player. It's about isekai. It's lots of fun. They are staying in a sand village. They're in a new environment. It's lots of cool.
We're like in volume 2 right now.
We had to take a bit of a break because people were sick. It's gonna happen.
Oh,
It's gonna happen. People like Kay couldn't function as a human being.
barely function Thursday.
Assuming everything goes ahead, Demi will probably have his too.
Yeah, everyone's Erozia, I think, happens on the same day, probably about half an hour after mine is the start, usually. And then we're back next time for chapter 60, session 61, in 2 weeks' time, of Echoes of the Forgotten, with Big Bogs. Big Bug time. Big Bug combat time.
Hells yeah, lunch.
So, yeah. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have a good evening, and see you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.